Hey, this is John from Incantation. You're listening to the FANTASM Podcast. Phantasm.
What the fuck is up, and welcome to the FANTASM Podcast. I am Corey Gorechrist. With me,
Dr. Vincent West.
Hi. How you doing? This is fucking awesome. I've been waiting for all of this right now to happen. Like forever. I've been waiting for this shit to happen. We got John from Incantation on the show. Fucking amazing interview. Props to Dr. West over here for getting it. It was really fucking cool.
Thank you, John.
John's the fucking man. He's true old school death metal. He's what we love about the music. And, you know, Incantation's a blast. You should definitely see him, catch him on tour, see him at a show, club, whatever. Super cool guys. Super huge horror fans. Somewhat founders of modern death metal. They're fucking great. So this is really exciting to do this for him. The film we got, Doctor, what do we got for him?
Well, once I get this mic, because somebody's been fucking with it again. It's really annoying me. Anyway,
as we see, directed another Michel Sauvé film.
We're doing this back to back, yeah, and I didn't even realize that. It's the Sect.
Watch. This is for you.
What's happening to me?
You have been chosen. I have come to give you that greater light. Why did you disobey, Mary? Come when the son of the rebel will become flesh and blood and will abandon God.
We have the Sect. It's fucking awesome.
Michel Sauvé.
So we did Stage Fright for Patrick of Pestilence. That was really awesome. Great movie. None of us have ever seen it, so it was pretty amazing. This one I've never seen. So
this is a it's one of his films. 91.
Yeah, it's from 1991.
It's new this year. Scorpion put it out. I'm still
love a lot of Scorpion stuff.
Sorry. A little under the weather here. I don't know why Cemetery Man does not have a proper release.
Yeah, the one I got was a German boot, but it looks really good. It's the best one out there, and I forget who put it out.
It just doesn't make any sense to me that there's not a proper...
It was a Scorpion Releasing put out Mortuary, which is, you know, definitely a really good title to have. Like, that's like a horror fan's, you know, wet dream is that movie. So, the late and great Bill Paxton. So that was.
Now be sure
it's a great movie.
To look on eBay for my copy of The Sect that I'm viewing right now. They're putting a limited edition out, so this will be fodder to me.
And once the Hot and Sexy comes out,
same as The Church, I will buy that, and The Church will also be available.
Is The Church also Scorpion releasing?
Correct.
Wow, awesome.
And so
yeah, they released both of these
opera.
at the same time. Yeah, well. And opera. All those came out like relatively the same
this
day.
year. Yeah,
we got this Jesus character, which is funny. We don't have subtitles. I kind of forgot to do that. Maybe
there isn't any.
Really?
No.
Wow. So we're going in raw dog today, ladies and gentlemen. So
I mean, there wasn't a menu option for it. If you think you can turn it on somehow.
Yeah, it was just play, and then there was trailers and interviews. So that was it. I mean, this guy seriously just. I mean, this is like some kind of Jesus guy. A bunch of hippies out here in the...
He actually looks like Thor. Or Conan.
A little bit.
Maybe he's Conan.
But,
or Charles Manson. Maybe he's Charles Manson as
he's
Conan.
a cult follower or something. Well, courtesy of IMDb, it says, an old Gothic cathedral. No, that's the church. Why is that up here?
I don't know.
Keep showing the church.
That's a good movie.
A lonely kindergarten teacher discovers a secret well in the basement of her house and soon finds herself being followed by a murderous satanic cult. So there you go.
We love our murderous satanic cult movies. I do anyway. I know about Corey.
The original title, La Seta, was also called The Devil's Daughter. So
Helter Skelter. Anyway.
Well,
Well, you've been on kind of a thing with this, so there you go. I brought you Michel Sauvé cult movie.
which, if you guys have never seen Cemetery Man, they did a dog shit remake called Dylan Dog
With Brandon Ralph.
with not Superman. And it's just a terrible movie, and it does nothing for the original film. Like, the original Cemetery Man is so good. If you guys can get the German boot, just buy it. Just buy whatever. There's a few different Blu-rays out. The one that I found was...
Did you buy The Dentist?
No, I did not. That's from NSM that puts out all those German media books. It's still out. I just haven't gotten a copy. I would like to. It's Brian Usna Goodness. Our boy Ken Foray's in it. Corbin Burnson, of course, plays the dentist from Major League and all that shit. So that's something I definitely want to get. Something I did get since before last time we spoke was the Killer Clowns from Arrow. Now I know everybody's in the UK's are like, we've already got 3 different versions. I was like, well, this is the first US proper Blu-ray cut of this film, the 4K restoration. So this is our first 4K cut of this film, because all we've had is that $5.99 Walmart piece of shit for 8 years. And
What are we talking about? What?
Killer Clowns. We've just kept getting the same.
Now, have you watched it?
See, here's
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't yet. But it's Arrow, so I know it's good. Here's the thing. Guys in the UK, we love you, but you can complain all you want about getting the same Arrow cut for 5 years. We've been getting the same MGM cut for 6 years. I mean, it's better to get the same Arrow cut repackaged than to get the same Walmart copy repackaged. I mean, we haven't had a good print of this yet, so this is really cool, and I'm looking forward to getting it. There's a big-ass fucking 2-sided poster in there. That's really nice. It's got a lot of jam-packed features. The box art's really beautiful for the slipcase. So, and there's Frankfurt, Germany, 1991 is where the setting of this movie is taking place. And this looks like, what's her name? Kelly Curtis, who's the lead role in this film, the victim, if you will. So, it's Miriam, is who I think we're looking at here. And she was also in, go figure, Deep Space Nine.
I have a...
She was the one she was in The Sentinel. That's where I'd seen her from. So that's what Italian actors like to do, though, to get American actors to lead their films. So, yeah, she's in The Sentinel, the TV show. Who was she in Deep Space Nine? She was Miss Sarda. I guess she was only in a few things. So yeah, that's cool. She's in some good stuff. Trading Places, she was in that too. So, pretty awesome. That's weird. It says she's Kelly Lee Curtis, and is what she was. That's her actual name. So, wonder if there's any relation. I would say so. To old Jamie Lee Curtis. Let's see. The Devil's Daughter, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, so she's actually the sister of Jamie Lee Curtis. How fucking crazy is that?
Interesting.
Oh, Kelly Curtis. So,
here's the girl in this picture.
Yeah, the main character, yeah.
Interesting.
Which isn't who's on the screen here. This is some other chick, so that was my bad. Trying to look at all this stuff. Oh, there's already a stabbing. There we go. We got some good shit going. Very nice. A little blood in the milk. There's a little nice direction right there. Michel Sauvy's got such a great... He's just got a great vision for directing. He's got very... very vibrant, not too gaudy. He's a really good director. I really enjoy his shit, the way he does it.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, you got the Argentos. I mean, I think Sauvy's really underrated for what he's put out, and very violent, but not even like gore so much. But I mean, Stage Fright was really gory, but it wasn't overdone. As much as I love Fulci and Argento, I think sometimes their stuff's overdone. Argento has a more artistic value when it comes to gore and stuff like that, so he makes it work to his, he really makes it his own when he does kill scenes. And Fulci, he was kind of a pioneer for it, but at the same time, really love Sauvy's directing. The way that he does everything's pretty awesome. Huge fan. Ooh. Kalima. There's a little... Everyone's heart just dropped.
I think... Since we're...
This guy's going to look like me after tonight. Looks like he hasn't slept in like a month.
We're knocking on May. And I want to go ahead and tell everybody my album of the month for May.
It's been a little while since we've done that. I mean, if you guys pay attention on social media, you can find us on Facebook, FANTASM Podcast. So the doctor usually reveals his stuff on there.
This month, we'll go ahead and finish this month's. This month's, there were two. It was the B-Sides collection from Napalm Death.
Yeah.
And the second one was the new Necrophobic.
Yep, marking of the Necrogram.
But there's only one release for May.
You see the hair piece that just came out the back of his head? God damn.
So, no, it's fine.
There's a lot happening right now.
So I think I'll reveal that to you guys at some point during the podcast. I don't have to do it right now, but...
Go ahead and do it.
I'll wait. We're good. We got some good stuff going on right here. I'll wait.
All right.
But I will reveal... I don't usually do this. I'll reveal my May album of the month. So, yeah.
So stay tuned for that. This is
I also want to take a second and I want to welcome Max Cavalera to our podcast.
Yeah, that is going to be exciting.
That's huge. Official. That's done. I'm actually going to pass this over real quick to Mr. Gorkrist. And I'm going to let him take a peruse at this. But I'm very excited about this. I'll just let him read the whole thing.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it. He's definitely one of the first people I really listen to metal-wise, so it's cool. I'm going to be happy about that.
I'll talk a minute. You take a peek-a-poo at that. Anyway, I'm really excited to have him on. I met Max in 1991, and I got to get high with him. I probably won't mention that to him. I think it'd be kind of weird, but saw him several times on the Arise tour. Got into them on Beneath the Remains. I had that on cassette. Bought Arise on CD. Dead Embryonic Cells was the first single, so I still have the single CD from that, from Roadrunner. So
all I can say is that's how it's done.
Yeah, I mean,
one, as Andrew Dice Clay would say, one stroke done.
It's sorry guys. Coughing fit. Excuse me. Sorry.
I'd like to take this time to honor Dr. Vincent West. He just passed away. So.
Basically.
I'd like to dedicate this episode to him.
I'm taking something so I wouldn't do that during this instead of doing
just
it.
Just kidding. We all know Dr. West can't die. So
I hope not. But no, for real. It's more about his body of work So we're excited to have him on. It's a big guest for us, and obviously there are bad blood between him and the gentlemen that are currently in the band Sepultura, but hopefully we can talk with him a little bit about that as his thing, and Nailbomb and
that's gonna be fun.
Kill or Be Killed and all that good stuff.
Sure.
So we're excited. I'm excited. Well, yeah. So Max, we're looking forward to it. But a little bit about John McEntee. What a great guy. You guys are in for a hell of an interview. He was very nice. I asked him personally. I didn't have this set up anybody. What a gentleman, and what a great guy. And the Mortician information. For those of you who don't know, he was a guitarist for Mortician, and really good friends with Will Reimer. So, and if anyone knows on the podcast, Mortician is arguably one of my top 3 death metal bands.
Which he said in the interview that were essentially Mortician as a podcast, kind of.
Yeah, and it was very flattering.
But honestly, if you think about it, it's true, because what Will was trying to do was combine horror and death metal and just make it all one thing, and that's what we do.
He's
just
a pioneer.
in a different art form. So
yeah, and his band, if folks don't know this, Corey obviously knows this, but for anybody out there listening, the reason that the band is named Mortician is after Phantasm.
Yeah, the movie. So that's why we're Phantasm with an F.
So many links.
Approved by Reggie Bannister himself.
And his beautiful wife. And thank you guys. Love you if you're listening out there. Out in California.
Anybody that knows Gigi and Reggie, give them some love. They can always use it. So, just amazing people.
I have a small rant I wanted to do tonight. This really bothered me. And this is something I haven't discussed with you. And it's real quick. I was curious what you guys out there that listen to us think.
And this old guy just got fucking jacked by a fucking car. God damn.
You know,
3 random deaths. One was planned because one guy got stabbed. The other dude got shot in the face by fucking police. And then this guy just gets fucking jacked by a fucking car. He's still alive, though, so it doesn't count. Anyway.
This isn't anything, long-winded or anything, but I was really, to be honest with you, I got my feelings hurt. And I thought it was disgusting the way Bruce Campbell handled himself on social media this week.
Really?
You familiar with this?
No, all I saw was that he was hanging up the Ash character. I mean, I didn't read anything.
He acted like a 2-year-old child about his show getting canceled, and it's like...
I think it was planned. I mean, I'm sure he knew it was going to get canceled.
Well, the thing about it is...
They fought it being canceled last year.
Here's what's funny about that show.
Well, for one, it's on Stars.
The first season is fun. The second season is not so fun, and what I've seen of the third season was just going through the motions. So for those of you that don't know, and I'm not quoting him, but he basically is like, I'm done with Ash, it's over, it's dead. And I'm just like, why are you acting like a toddler?
You think that's what it was?
Yeah, I personally thought he was acting like a child. Have I had my moments on this podcast where I acted like a child? Sure, probably. But I'm not a A-list celebrity in horror.
There's Kelly Curtis. That's you can see the resemblance there.
I was really disappointed, though, folks. I model myself after Mr. Campbell, and it made me happy that I didn't go meet him during the eclipse with Corey last year, honestly. After the way he acted, because apparently he's just a penis.
Well,
I hate to hear that, and it's unfortunate. And I had tried to get him on this podcast a bunch, and I'm looking back on it now. I guess he was probably just snubbing us, and then that's unfortunate. But
he was probably done with it, even though he was filming it. You know what I mean? Well, she looks just like Jamie. That's crazy.
By the way, Corey is wearing a name badge that says Corey Gore Christ Phantasm America, which is really cool.
That's my other job, Phantasm America.
And what that is, that's a local liquidator of death metal, rock, pop, and country CDs at a value price, and some VHS tapes.
We're trying to get more, but people are just now starting to get them again.
So check out phantasmamerica.com, and be sure to go there and give Corey some of your money.
And I'm the only one that runs it, and it's a GeoCities site, so it may take you a little while to organize through it and click stuff, and there's some meaty files if you want to listen to them.
Yeah. I put some porn on there if you
Yeah, we
guys want
keep
to
it old
whack it.
school. There's just look up wacky section. It says wacky on it, and you click on
Wacky West, and it's Wacky West.
It's a button for the page, but it's a little clip, and you click on it, and it's just you don't get to pick. It's just a random.
all my favorites. It's
just a
interracial
random,
sex and
it's just
bukkakis and
when you click on it,
rim
it
jobs.
It doesn't give you a list. It just chooses one of the videos out of his repertoire. Like it has its
anything that's exciting for you. That
it has its own AI.
There's she-mails on there. We got it all. Anything you want, she-mail glory holes. You got it all.
We got BBCs.
Yeah, there's a lot of big black cock. You got all that on there. Gangbangs.
Yep.
But yeah, enjoy. It's
like I said, it's a random video every time, so you're not going to get the same thing twice, but you might come twice.
And an amazing thing that's there, and it's still there.
That real bunny. Look at that.
It's still there. Is Corey's copy of Motel Hell.
The one that was stolen.
The Blu-ray that haunts me, like his first Scream Factory Collector's edition. It's just on there with dust on it for sale. And you knew the other one. Can you name the other movie that's on there of yours? And I'll tell you mine in a minute. But
Night Riders that Tom Savini almost broke when he signed it for me.
That's on there, but there's a good one. Curtains is on there. It is. It's on there. It's $11.95 free shipping. And
yeah, and I repackaged it so it looked like it wasn't opened. I actually, when I learned at doing retail, I learned how to shrink wrap, so I re-shrink wrapped it and said that it was new in the box, never opened.
Was that a Synapse title?
Yes, it was.
They're an interesting company. I like those guys. They initially, as a horror fan,
I mean, they put out porn and fucking horror movies. I think it's awesome.
It is.
I mean,
it's
that's
very cool.
That's a great mix. That's like, how we have horror and death metal. Porn's also in there somewhere. Some people would call that porno grind or whatever, but
I was really disappointed. But I want to tell some folks again about this. I guess I should be getting an endorsement from him for the plugging, but excuse me. There is some fantastic deals on deep discount. In fact, the tour edition of the new Morbid Angel record on CD is just the only place you can get it is on that site.
Deep discount, yeah, and it has that whole second disc of just instrumental tracks.
And what a treat for $11.99.
Oh yeah, considering what it was before, where you couldn't even buy it.
God, the thing was like
it's like $15.99
jewel case for its missing tracks, and
yeah.
Of course, go catch those guys out there out touring right now, and go say tell Mr. Tucker that Dr. West sent you.
Yeah, maybe he'll smile at you, not want to kick your teeth.
Oh, he'll
just
be nice
kidding.
to you.
He's a really nice guy. I was trying to get them scared.
Well, yeah, you got to kind of approach him with, I mean, it's the man. So, but
that's right. That is, you're looking in the eyes.
He's a
of
good
death
guy.
metal right there.
I will tell you something funny though to everyone out there listening. Him and Phil Anselmo are probably the two most controversial frontmen we've had on here, because a lot of people feel that they're unapproachable. So,
right.
And I guess number 3 is coming up later this year. And that's Glenn Benton from Deicide.
Fuck yeah.
Which I've worked on for literally a year and a half to get. No idea when that record's dropping. They if you guys are avid Deicide fans, you'll see that they'll put their page up, announce tour dates, and take all of it down. I don't know what goes on with their camp, but I know Kevin, hi Kevin, one of their guitar players, he has a family now, and it's hard for him to go on the road. So I don't know if that plays a factor in it, but Kevin wrote a lot of the new record. I'm excited to hear some of it, and shout out to Lee Harrison for getting me the interviews before. Thank you, Lee. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, shout out to Lee. He's still doing the Terrorizer thing, so if you see Terrorizer at festival shows or anything, if you overseas fans are listening, they're always usually over in the neck of the woods, so definitely go say hi to Lee and give him a high five for being fucking awesome and being death metal. Still waving that flag for us, man. But you want to do Altering the Future?
I think we should. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's time. We got a long movie tonight, so we got a little bit more time.
We do.
Am I starting or are you starting?
I'll do it. I think you did it last time. So
Sweet.
We'll do it back and forth.
I like it.
Newer listeners, back to we do Altering the Future, where this movie is 1991, so we're going to take you back to 1991 with movies and the music that was out during the time, this is going to be a blast.
Corey Gorcross,
because
here
of
he comes.
1991.
Altering the future.
Right.
Thanos is gonna be altering the future.
Courtesy of Chuck. That was death for all you people that need to know. That's it. Don't need to even explain that. We got some really good ones. 1991. This is one of the first movies we watched where I was born and it came out. So it's nice that I can see some stuff that I grew up with. Even though I grew up with the old school shit anyway.
He did. He's very old school. He's a 20-something-year-old in a 50-year-old man's body.
Right, but it's cool to see
Excuse me.
stuff that was like naturally around when I was already hatched. So we got some good ones. We got a lot of stuff I had when I was a kid, and a DVD, or well, it was VHS at the time. So here we go. We got Hook with Robin Williams. I'll always do the regulars first. Pray that
He does.
Dr. West doesn't die during
Sorry.
this podcast. We got Naked Gun 2.
That's a good one.
One of my favorites, New Jack City. That's my favorite Wesley Snipes film.
That's a good movie.
Like I said, we always do regular first, I'll do horror after, and then Dr. West will take you to Death Metal Town. Drop Dead Fred.
That movie, hold on one second, if I may. I've never seen it. That is a sought-after film by a lot of folks.
It is. I don't know
Wheelchair Fucker.
That is a wheelchair fucker movie, I'm just going to tell
Oh, no,
you.
listen. Wheelchair Fucker. This is a true story. Wheelchair Fucker, kids. What was it again?
Drop Dead Fred.
Wheelchair Fucker dropped $80 on a sealed DVD. Thank you, good night.
Of that movie?
That's not a joke. Doesn't exist on Blu-ray, and he dropped it. And the guy included the VHS sealed for him, too.
Wow. It's got Tim Matheson in it.
I've never seen it.
Carrie Fisher is in it as Janie.
Never
the guy,
seen that movie.
Rick Mayall is the guy that plays Fred. He passed back in 2014. I'm trying to remember what else he was in.
Is it a children's movie?
I don't think so. As far as I remember it. It's been probably when it came out when I saw it.
PG-13?
I don't know. To be honest with you,
If you're listening to this in Europe, that's a rating system,
a-
the one y'all don't have.
it's a British like black comedy movie. I don't know what the rating is on it. I have no idea.
I thought it was right, said Fred. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my... So sexy it hurts.
I don't know. It's about like an imaginary friend or something. Anyway, here's one for the Doctor. Double Impact, Van Damme.
Yeah, if you all have never tuned in before, it's a very big guilty pleasure. I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. I'm
It's
sorry.
not a guilty pleasure at all. He's a fucking badass.
It's a guilty pleasure.
The Doors movie with Val Kilmer. It's a great film.
I skipped school with my dear friend Matt, and we got really high and watched it. And the scene where it's playing Velvet Underground, that put a spike into my vein. I got really high during that part. It sounds like I'm high now, but I got really high during that part. And sorry about the coughing, not kids. I don't feel good. Crazy movie. I thought Val Kilmer did a really lights out job.
Fuck yeah, he did. This is another West special. We got Out for Justice, Steven Seagal.
That's a good one. It's got the man you met in it too.
Who?
I'll give you a hint.
Michael Biehn.
No. It's one of the most... this actor, for me, is underrated. I love him. And Corey has met him. I'm very jealous. This may be the most jealous person.
William Forsythe.
I love William Forsythe.
He was so fucking cool, too.
I fucking love him.
And he's exactly how he is in the movies in person. He's just like, hey, Corey.
That's fucking amazing.
He's cool as fuck.
It's amazing.
He was like, what you got, brother? I'm just like, God damn, this is awesome.
I will take a moment.
Yeah, William Forsythe, dude, you rule. I'll give you a
I
shout
will
out
give
right
Rob Zombie an inch of credit for putting him in that Devil's Rejects film.
now. Yeah, it was awesome. It was definitely a good work for him. Let's see, you got JFK. That's Kevin Costner. That was a big one.
I've never seen that movie.
It's really good, actually. It's Kevin Costner. It's pretty good.
You like VHS tapes? Real quick, that thing on VHS was like this. It had like 10 tapes with it.
Yeah, it's a long ass movie. One of two really good Bruce Willis movies, Hudson Hawk. I'll get to the last one because I know it's your favorite here in a minute. Still in the regular, the new school. Let's see. We got Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country.
It's a good movie. Nicholas Meyer, that did Star Trek II Wrath of Khan, came back and wrote and directed the picture
Awesome.
with Leonard Nimoy. It's a great film.
Another huge one that year was Thelma and Louise.
I like that movie. It's a Ridley Scott film, too.
Yeah, it's good. The Fisher King, which was another Robin
Brad
Williams
Pitt's
movie.
debut was in that movie,
Yeah.
too. Shirtless cowboy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gay.
Yeah, The Fisher King.
That's a disturbing movie, but it's good. It is good.
What About Bob, which is a great Bill Murray movie.
That's
really
a very
underrated.
funny movie.
Really underrated. Or you got Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which I still think is the best Robin Hood movie.
I've never seen that movie.
It's really good. I think that's the one with Alan Rickman in it.
It is.
That's the best one, is that one.
I've never seen it.
The best iteration of Robin Hood, in my opinion.
But hold on, before you go any further, just for you. I'll do it for you. That's all I remember from that movie.
Wow.
Because I've never seen it.
Fried Green Tomatoes was huge.
Never seen it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
I like that one. If Casey Jones is in that one, I like that one.
I think it is. The Addams Family, the first one.
It's an interesting movie.
Let's see. Here's a really good one. It's David Cronenberg's Naked Lunch. It's a weird one.
That movie's too much for the old doctor.
Yeah. It's definitely weird. Cape,
Goddamn William H. Burroughs, I'm assuming stuff, and I just can't do it.
You got Cape Fear. That was a Scorsese film. It's got Nick Nolte, Robert De Niro. Here's some of the big ones we got. Backdraft. Let's see, City Slickers. I'm going to sum this up here. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. One of my favorites that came out this year, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Got Boys in the Hood.
That's a good picture.
That's awesome. The Last
You mean
Boy
Black Panther? Oh, you meant Boys in the Hood. I'm sorry.
The Last Boy Scout, which is your favorite Bruce Willis.
That is
film.
my favorite Bruce Willis picture.
And here's the second to last one I'm going to throw out here for 91 normal films. The OG, Point Break.
That's a fantastic
It's fucking
movie.
awesome.
Patrick Swayze is one of my
Arguably the
favorite
greatest
actors.
action movie that came out that year. I mean, you got Terminator 2, you got Out for Justice, and Double Impact.
And then there's a
Last Boy
twist
Scout,
to it because
but
Catherine,
Point Break is still arguably the best action movie that
Catherine
came
Bigelow that directed it, also directed Near Dark, and
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a good picture.
And this is a good bridge into the horror. I'm sorry, this is a long list. This is a good bridge into horror, and I'll leave this as the last regular one. Is Nothing But Trouble. Because it's a horror comedy. It's directed by Dan Aykroyd.
That's a
and he stars in it.
strange movie.
It is. Chevy Chase. It's definitely worth watching. It's very fucking weird, though. And sorry for the long list, guys, but now we're getting into horror, so hold your ass. Now we got Sometimes They Come Back.
Robert Russler.
Yep. Let's see what this one. We got Jeff Fahey, Body Parts. I don't know why that's not on Blu-ray.
That movie is criminally underrated.
It's Jeff Fahey's. That's shit. Necromantic 2.
Those movies are good.
We got Critters 3.
Good one.
Got The Omen 4. We got The Howling 6. Here's a good one I'd love to do on here is Popcorn. Speaking of Synapse. This guy, by the way, is getting fucking
I have Popcorn.
fucked up.
I just brought that up to you recently.
Well, that's what I was saying. We were talking about Synapse. We were in the car and stuff. But yeah, we need to definitely do Popcorn. I think we've had it on the blog
Crispin Glover's
a couple
daddy
times.
is
Yep.
the
Let's see. The Unborn. What else we got? Got a bunch of shit. Let's see. People Under the Stairs. We got Freddy's Dead, the final... Whatever. The movie wasn't that great. The Final Nightmare, yeah.
when Alice Cooper's his daddy. Welcome to Corey's Nightmare. You're gonna freaking like it.
This is a weird one. It stars Lance Henriksen.
Welcome to Corey's Nightmare, and he's gonna eat you.
And of course, this is an Edgar Allan Poe picture, and it's technically a remake, whatever. It's based on an Edgar Allan Poe story. It's The Pit and the Pendulum, starring Lance Henriksen, directed by Stuart Gordon.
A remake of the
Vincent Price
picture.
But it's realistic. It's a
Corman.
book, so they're not really. It's just another version.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, the Vincent Price shit was first, obviously.
Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I like them both.
Oh yeah,
that's a compliment.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker, which I don't even know anything about it. I know Mickey Rooney is in it, which is weird.
Yeah, because he bashed the first one so much.
And you know who wrote the screenplay for that? And this ties into Stuart Gordon, Brian Usna.
Nice.
Last two here, and this is a weird order, but I'm doing it this way for what I like better. Silence of the Lambs, arguably the biggest horror movie that came out that year. Not even technically a horror film, but, psychological thriller, whatever. It falls under that category. And my number one, Child's Play 3.
Can't do that movie.
I like that one. I watched it a lot when I was a kid, so that was the one. I'd say 2 is still by far my favorite one. Number 2. And shout out to Brad Dourif for being a friendly guy and again being on our show
and taking a shit in Corey's yard,
battling the flu. So that was really nice of him. He could have just not did it, and I would have been fine with rescheduling, but he insisted, and it was cool. So, shout out to him. See you in Texas. But yeah, that concludes my long list of 91.
Corey wants to make love to your daughter too.
So we're gonna go right into the music portion, which is going to be jam-packed. If you think about what our podcast is in the year of 91, get ready for a good list. So, Doctor, lay it on it.
First, we're going to start dead last with Autopsy. Fiend for Blood.
Can I have one of your cough drops?
Yeah. Massacre. Enjoy the Silence. Enjoy the Violence, excuse me.
Thanks. Also, another Autopsy record that came out that same year was Enjoy the Penis.
Yeah. That's perfect. Autopsy, Retribution for the Dead. Gardens of Grief from At the Gates. I want to stop real quick for a second about At the Gates. I'm a fan of Slaughter the Soul, and I have a lot of people tell me that record's overrated and blah, blah. It's actually not. Okay.
It's really good.
Marduk, Fuck Me Jesus.
That's fitting for this film.
Mass Appeal Madness from Napalm Death. The Astral Sleep from Tiamat.
Nice.
I don't know what this is. Crawl from Entombed.
I don't know what that is. I like...
From Beyond, from Massacre, of course, a classic album.
Oh, yeah.
Ripping Corpse. Dreaming.
That's a little Eric Rutan.
Yep, Dreaming with the Dead. The Human Waste EP from Suffocation. Paradise Lost Gothic, if you're a fan of their stuff. I don't consider that death metal, but whatever. Therion of Darkness, again, I don't consider that shit, but whatever. Into the Grave from Grave. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes here, kids. This is where I'm not going to
meat and potatoes.
It's true.
Get the meat and potatoes.
Okay. Asphyx the Rack.
Fuck yeah.
World Without God from Convulse. Sepultura Arise.
One of my favorites of all time.
Death Shall Rise from Cancer. War Master from Bolt Thrower. Pestilence, Testimony of the Ancients. Mental Funeral from Autopsy. Soulside Journey from Dark Throne. Necroticism from Carcass.
Yep.
Blessed are the sick from Morbid Angel.
Oh,
Clandestine from Entombed.
that's a good one.
Unquestionable Presence from Atheist.
Perfect.
Where No Life Dwells from Unleashed. Like an ever-flowing, whatever that's called.
Stream.
From Dismember.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get into the greatest hits. Butchered at Birth from Cannibal Corpse.
Love it.
Considered Dead from Gore Guts.
Amazing.
Death Human.
Oh, I've been listening to it all week.
Been Caught Buttering from Pungent Stench.
That needs to have a really good release coming from that. I mean,
It does.
it's Pungent Stench is really underrated.
Give me just a second. And now we're finishing off.
Finish it off.
And I'm sorry, but I got to be honest about this stuff. There's 3 records left. And, I got to be honest about it. A lot of people are not going to agree with this. That's fine. I don't really care. Immolation, Dawn of Possession is number 3.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
This was really hard for me, but I'm still going to have to lean. I'm still going to have to lean in on this one. And forgive me, guys. I'm sorry. I got to put you at 2. Even though, God, this is really hard because this record to me changed my life. And that's Malevolent Creation's 10 Commandments.
It's awesome record.
But number 1, I've got to go Effigy of the Forgotten from Suffocation.
Oh, of course.
And that's it.
Oh, yeah.
We are done, kids.
I mean, if you guys can even process that many things coming out in 91, you just sit there and bask in it.
And it's a hard one because the Malevolent and it kind of...
Yeah, and Blessed are the Sick, too, and, all that stuff.
that one to me is not even close to those. I like it, but...
It is really good. But
It's very good, but I think I take Dawn of Possession over that any day.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, there's some personal bias in some of that, but whatever, I don't care.
No, if I had to go favorite, I mean...
Malevolent Creation's one of my favorite death metal bands, so...
I'd probably put Butchered at Birth, at least in the top 3 for me, but I'd say number 1 would probably still be the Suffocation. It's really close. That album I can still do,
here's what I did.
Butchered at Birth, it kind of goes in and out, but I can listen to Effigy of the Forgotten any day of the week.
I did Butchered, and then I did Immolation, and then I did Malevolent.
And same thing with Dawn. I mean, I can listen to that any day of the week. Butchered, sometimes I can't listen to it. I don't know why. It doesn't stick with me.
Well, 10 Commandments to me is actually better than Retribution, so...
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Any day.
And best wishes to Brett Hoffman with your prostate cancer stuff. I wish you the best. If I don't get better, I'm going to be joining you. But
so that's very sad to hear. But I do want to also give a shout out, and we mentioned it. We mentioned Massacre, that record. I want to give a shout out to a very underrated piece of death metal. And that's Cam Lee. So I want to also give a shout out to you. He's a pioneer of death metal, and he doesn't get enough credit for it. And I know a lot of people shit on him for the way he is, but I think he has a lot to say, and he was pretty deep in the stuff, man. So he has a lot of insight about the community, and he's a real motherfucker, and what made death metal what it was based on his attitude and how he still carries himself and hasn't changed. So I think that speaks more volumes than going along with everything and just going with emotions. He's not the type of guy that ever did that and still doesn't to this day. So if any of you guys know him, follow him on Facebook like I do, and try to talk to him every now and then. Definitely just show him some love and say what's up. Definitely worth talking to, and he knows he knows a lot about horror and all that stuff from the early death and the Massacre stuff. You can tell when he was in and out of it because it was more horror oriented because of him. With From Beyond, obviously, it was a huge nod to the film, and you know, he's really a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft shit and old school horror. So he's a cool dude, man, and you know, he kind of embodies this podcast by being a part of such a critical part of death metal and being such a avid horror fan. So yeah, shout out to that man.
Yeah,
but
Massacre is they're like Brutality. They kind of got swept over some of that stuff.
Yeah,
And
even though they were
Diabolic.
guys
Diabolic
from
was
Death.
another
I
band
mean,
that
it
I was
was-
a big fan of. But
was, you know, it was got all the guys from Death, Rick Ross and you know, Terry Butler. I mean, they were all in that group, and it was pretty you know, it's pretty solid stuff, those first couple records. But for Brett Hoffman, you know, he got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and he was a past guest of ours. He was a very cool dude, and we wish him the best. So he has a GoFundMe page. If you guys go on Malevolence page or anything, it's GoFundMe.com/J7BDG6-5000. You can go on there and
help out Brett.
do the fundraiser. If you guys can still buy Malevolent records, go fucking help this dude, and you know, hopefully he gets a recovery or at least fights this thing off for some more years, and you know, definitely needs it. So do all you can. Appreciate your support. Keep these motherfuckers going, just like they've kept you going all these years, still doing Malevolent stuff. And
They have a new record coming out with a new lineup.
yeah,
With just Phil being the solo remaining member, and they'll come out later this year. We're going to have some of those folks on for you later in the year when I get more info on it. But
yeah,
that's definitely happening.
right.
So,
But yeah, do all you can. Support fucking death metal, however you got to do it. If it takes throwing in your money to keep these motherfuckers alive, then that's what you got to do, you know. So just try to do your best. So thank you all. You know, I would, whenever I watch an Italian film and a woman is sticking her eye close to things that can puncture it, I really get excited. So, but I don't think anything's gonna happen right here. I don't know what the fuck she just drank. And I'll have to apologize. I don't know what's going on in this film at all. I just think, I know there's just some old dude that was invading her shit, and now she's got this well here. And I know based on the synopsis that there's some crazy shit down in that well. And she's got to go figure out what it is. And you got this little bunny here leading the way. There's some creepy little pony over there. That's never a good sign.
you know, it's interesting. As we're recording tonight, this is a very long evening. Corey and I both. I'm a little under the weather. He's not slept much either, and and we're going to be attending the new Avengers film tonight at 11:45, and that's Eastern Standard Time. And of course, I've already read all about it. I've kept it to myself for the most part, unless when prompted. But I'm very excited about it, and if you guys don't know, we're both very into the
Into
MCU.
the world of Marvel.
Yeah, we're into all that, so I enjoy it. Most pictures, I didn't care for Black Panther. I thought it had an agenda and it was kind of racist, but the other stuff I really like, you know. And by the way, when I say racist, I don't mean Black Panther's racist. I just meant the picture. I felt the director's hidden little things in there were racist, and it's like, if you're mad at Donald Trump, don't take it out on me. I didn't vote for that balding prick. On top of the fact that I'm Cuban, so, you know, take it up with him, don't take it up with me.
And I'm Jewish. I definitely vote for that motherfucker.
Right. But anyway, on a positive note,
How much was the Gene Simmons shit here?
it was $350.
For just a photo and a
That was
and an
just
autograph.
a photo.
God damn. Well, at our good folks at Days of the Dead, let me just tell you, I will be traveling again this year to Indianapolis to see our good folks at Days of the Dead. And Gene Simmons is the main headliner. All his little VIP packages are long sold out, and that includes, it's like $300, and you get a photo, you get an autograph, then you get all this other shit, like a selfie, and like... If you can imagine a Gene Simmons...
I take it you're not doing it.
A Gene Simmons packaged thing...
You are doing it.
Then you can just imagine all the extra shit that you don't need that makes it $300. It's like, oh, you get Gene Simmons...
Let me get this straight. You pre-ordered $300 for that.
No, I didn't. They're sold out. This is what I'm getting to here.
Sorry.
You know, the VIP thing, yeah, you get a selfie, you get like a selfie, and then you get an autograph, but then you get like a Gene Simmons figurine, and you get a fucking laminate, and you get this fucking dildo, and you get all this bullshit. It's just, if you've ever tried to do a Kiss VIP thing for their shows that's like $1,500, I mean, they make it $1,500. You get a Kiss class ring, and you get Kiss underwear, and you get Kiss fucking G-string, and you just get all this shit that you don't need. So I'm happy to say, because the Gene Simmons photo ops are available now on daysofthedead.net, and it's separate, of course, but I thought the VIP, everything was going to be expensive, because it's $300 for the VIP thing, but you get the autograph, and you get a picture. But for a pro photo op and an autograph separately, $100 a piece for either one.
You drop $200?
So it's $200, and I get a pro photo op instead of a shitty selfie, and I get autograph.
You drop $200.
$200.
You already done it?
No, not yet. I gotta survive fucking Texas, man. I don't know how much money I'm gonna have to put towards Indy in the next 2 months, but it's gonna happen. But yeah, if those are still available once I'm recovering from Texas Frightmare
Gene's
weekend.
Gonna give you a plaster caster of his penis. It'll go faster. Give me your cash. I'll tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the whole Ace Frehley thing. It's like, here you go. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hi, I'm Corey, I was Long Island first band. I'm just gonna be like, hey man, what's up? Okay, cool. I'm just gonna act like him. Just act uninterested.
And you're gonna get this photo. Okay, look. This is your head. He's gonna be like,
yeah, he's gonna turn completely around and not even look
with
at
his
it.
sunglasses on, where you can see the light hitting his bald spot. Did it?
I'm excited about it. It's cheap. It's $100 cheaper than it was here, and it's
$150 cheaper than it was.
Yeah,
here.
that's crazy. That just shows you,
or where you live, not where I live.
right? But that's pretty exciting. There's a lot more guests to be announced there. So check out daysofthedead.net for more, and keep following it. If they go to, they're doing Charlotte May 18th, and then they go to Indy in June, and then they have, I'm horrible. I think Chicago and Los Angeles, and they got Louisville. So there's a whole bunch of them still coming. So if they're in your closer to your area, then definitely go attend, because it's a lot of fun.
Well, if you're going to Texas Frightmare, and I've been telling people on this on our page when I'm not corrected, you'll be there, and they can meet you. Just walk up and meet him. He'll be wearing his party suit with skulls and stuff on it, which I really like.
I will.
And if
actually,
you
Friday night they're going to do a Camp Crystal Lake reopening party, so it's going to be a nice theme.
That's fucking awesome.
And they're going to have counselors there, and I'm sure some of the Jasons will attend, and they'll play stuff from the movie. They're going to play Lion, and I don't know what I'm going to dress up as. I would like to go as Crispin Glover. That'd be a lot of fun.
I think this
I'm
is
really
what I
thinking
think.
about the costume. I'm just going to.
I think you should drink with Kane Hodder at that.
Me and Mrs. Gorechrist are going to.
And then have him tell me to fuck off when I want another interview.
No, that's Steve Dash. He'll be there too. Maybe I'll get drunk enough and just be like, hey, remember when you told me to fuck off? You fuck off.
Yeah, you could.
And then Kane Hodder will be like, well,
tell Tom
you
Savini
fuck off.
thanks for crapping on me on social media.
Well, hey, Tom Savini, here's your Knight Riders back. I changed my mind. Can I get a refund on your autograph?
Yeah, like, can you erase it? Can you
It's
get
like,
your
it's not
fucking, Can you get your fucking signature off my product?
It's bad. You know, the worst part is that it was just George's, and then I tarnished it with his. The only reason I haven't thrown it away is because it has George Romero's signature on it. fucking butthole. But anyway, it's fine. Neither here nor there. It's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Come see me, Texas Frightmare Week, and I'll be running around doing my thing.
He's going to be there. He's doing a nude portrait where Clive Barker's actually going to draw him nude. So he's going to stand there naked, and if you want to get a glimpse of more than you ever knew about Corey Gorecross.
Yeah, when you guys add me on Facebook, you have to. You can I'll only add you if you message me and tell me what color my taint is.
Well, the best part of this for you guys
if you meet me at
is
Frightmare,
the proceeds to watch him be drawn by Clive Barker. It's $100 a person, and I need you to make.
It's $150 if you can if you can get me hard.
Yeah, you get a little extra. But we're splitting the proceeds, and it all goes to the Corey and Dr. West Need New Blu-rays Fund. So it's a great cause.
Help me get hard for you.
Yeah. Corey needs to come while he's at the convention, so
I'm
going to
come. I mean, during that, it's strictly professional, so I'm just going to be nude with a hard on.
Yeah.
If you can make it happen.
And Clive's going to make him look like a demon, so it's going to be great, and his demon cock.
I'm going to have, like, fucking spiked chains coming out of my fucking dong. That's how I'm going to
He's going to have a Cenobite penis and balls.
That's how I'm going to stay hard, is, like, his tortured soul's chains are going to be holding my fucking dick up. It's going to be tortured limp. But anyway, the funny thing, going back to Days of the Dead, last year in Indianapolis, I met Chuck, and I forget the other guy's name, I'm really sorry, from Incantation there. And that was really fun to meet those cats. We were drunk as fuck together, hanging out for a while out in the... Because the thing with Indy, that's where the whole thing started. So, that's always the biggest out of all the Days of the Dead conventions. Maybe LA or Chicago, I heard it's pretty wild, but the biggest one's definitely Indy, because people just don't go to sleep. There's always like a ton of people roaming around and outside. We went to a couple of them last year. Like Louisville was pretty dead after hours, and it's harder to get into stuff because there's mostly like hotel parties, and there's not really people outside. Or Indy, I was like, I have to go
Do they
to
have
bed,
swinger
guys.
horror fan like parties?
Oh, I'm sure. There's so much shit going on.
That's weird.
It's hard to keep up with them. I don't know. But I know Indy, like, I ended up going to bed when there was still a ton of people walking around. There was, like, so much shit to do at, like, 4 a.m. And I'm like, dude, I gotta go to fucking bed. I gotta go home now. So, Indy, based on last year, because we went to Atlanta, Indy, and then Louisville, and Indy was definitely the one we're gonna keep up with for sure. It was just a good time. So,
well, you're a big Colts fan too, so I mean, it works out for you.
God,
you've got that Peyton Manning tattoo. I mean, it's his life's blood. You probably getting confused with that guy on Balls on Base. He's not really a baseball fan. He's just a hardcore Colts fan.
Yeah, I'm not even a Mets fan.
No, he's Colts.
It's just
Colts
all
or
Colts.
nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
Because they don't have a baseball team, so I'd take my baseball rage and just put it into football.
Tootie, his dog, they've renamed Peyton. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal for him. So in Indianapolis, be sure to bring him free Colts merch.
Please don't.
He would love that.
I'll use it as toilet paper. It's actually not even good enough for my shitty buns.
Oh, I haven't addressed this yet. New Jersey Devils fans, suck my cock and balls. Tampa Bay Lightning all the way.
You got
Boston,
that Tampa dick.
Boston, come get some. Come and get a little bit.
Yeah, got that Tampa wiener.
And wrong podcast, but we'll just say fuck the Washington Nationals there for Corey.
Thanks.
Just for fun.
More recently, fuck the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
Actually, fuck St. Louis.
Yeah.
Because
kind of sewer.
I take a personal enjoyment as a sports fan as saying fuck your whole city and your state.
Yeah, it's...
So, I mean, if you all know that out there.
Missouri's kind of a toilet.
If we have fans from anywhere in Missouri, thanks for listening, but you live in a toilet, admit it.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, don't take pride in your city where your parents brought you. It's not your fault, so...
Well, it's not the Jersey fans' fault that listen to us. See, they were born in a toxic waste pit, so...
They're born in New York's fucking drop-off.
Yeah, it's a shame. You've got LaGuardia, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
It's like
I don't pull for other teams.
It's like Donald Trump's nutsack over there.
Yeah, it's stupid. He's stupid, so.
But yeah, fuck your city if I don't like your sports team.
Basically, yeah, I think that's a global thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
These soccer people burning shit down and killing people.
Hey,
so.
Baker Mayfield, welcome to the Cleveland Browns, you fucking piece of shit.
Is that who drafted him?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, they got
Did they get him first or fourth?
First. I mean,
Jesus.
Who else is going to get a quarterback? Welcome to the Cleveland Browns, you fucking hack.
Are you looking at the draft?
Yeah.
What did the Jags get?
I'm looking. The Colts got Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame.
That's annoying.
Denver Broncos got Bradley Chubb from North Carolina State. Let's see. Wow. New York Jets actually got a fucking quarterback.
Who'd you get? Did you get Mayfield or Rosen?
It was Sam Darnold from SoCal.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. Giants got Saquon Barkley from Penn State.
That overrated running back.
Yep. I mean, there's not a whole lot of good ones here. Sorry, we're on the NFL podcast now. It's just live. We're doing it for live. Fuck it. But Bills got Josh Allen from Wyoming.
Okay.
Whatever. The Bears got Raquan Smith from Georgia, linebacker. Yeah, I don't care about any of these.
Jags.
The Cardinals got Josh Rosen from UCLA. That's all that's been done so far. I haven't gotten to the Jags yet.
Pats haven't done anything.
Nope. Nothing good yet. But yeah,
I'm recording it. I enjoy watching the draft.
Yeah, the draft's pretty cool.
I'm a big pro football fan. So
it seems to be a little bigger.
Go Jags. I'm a huge Jacksonville Jaguars fan.
Me too.
So blow me Steelers fans. You can suck a fart out of my asshole. Fuck your goddamn hockey team too. Hope you get flushed by the Capitals, or we'll be doing the flushing.
Hope you get pegged.
Yeah, not a fan. But yeah, you know,
that lighthouse looks like a big old dick.
It does look like a hard-on.
Oh.
I like this movie though. It's very interestingly. The print's gorgeous.
Yeah, Mr. Sovi, I think it's a good little streak we're on right now with his films. I'm enjoying them. These guys are serving up some, it looks like fucking Beck's, the beer that they're drinking. A little Beck's beer around a fucking barrel fire. This guy's got like a damn Public Enemy hat on. I don't know who created this guy, but it's very strange man that they put together here. It's not a Public Enemy hat, but it looks like one. Here's some old whore, looks like his fucking mom, who's like, "Hey there, sweetie. Is that my flashlight? Or is that my lipstick?"
That's funny.
He's about to get the fucking beef. She's about to pull out her fucking wang. Something's about to go down. It's another cult killer. Yep, there goes her fucking handkerchief. That's how you know when someone's old, when they throw their handkerchief over a light fixture. Would you fuck that old whore?
Yeah, I think so.
That looks kind of like a West special.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't date her.
No. And this guy's about to... He looks like Willem Dafoe. Like, where's our buddy at? I mean, it's never a good idea to follow an old lady who's dressed like she's going to Olive Garden into a fucking truck. Well, there's some tit. There you go. 1 hour and 4 minutes. Mr. Skinless always has your back. Your bare back. So there's a tit for you, some old lady tit. She's got a knife. These guys are about to fucking seriously cock block him. Even though this cock block is okay because they might potentially save this guy's life. Not just from AIDS, but... Oh my god! He's stabbing her! Holy shit. What a turn of events, folks. I thought he were going to come into his mutilated ass, but he's fucking stabbing the fuck out of her. And not with his pecker, with her knife. So he looks surprised. Like I said, we have no subtitles on this, so I'm guessing he, in self-defense, because she's fragile and old, and tried to stab him, that he just went to fucking town on her her chest there with her own weapon. So that was pretty raunchy. It was very... See, that was good. That surprised me. This movie's full of surprises. It never takes the direction I think it's going to. It comes right back, and it's like, oh no, this is going to happen instead. So, I don't know what the significance of the bunny symbolism is in this movie. But there's a lot of it, and there's a lot of it with Kelly Curtis's character, the so-called Devil's Daughter. So, at this point, that little... The cult grandma has been thwarted. So that's interesting. So yeah. Who do you think's more attractive? You still think Jamie Lee Curtis is more attractive than Kelly Curtis?
I don't really think either of them are attractive, honestly.
No?
No. I never thought Jamie Lee Curtis was attractive. And I don't consider her the scream queen everybody thinks she is. And I love John Carpenter, but she honestly is so annoying in that movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, she only got the job because her mom was the one that gets killed in the shower scene. In Psycho. It's the truth. She's Janet Leigh's daughter. It's like, it's the only reason you got that job.
Well,
I just never thought she was attractive. I don't find her... I don't think any of the girls in Halloween are attractive, honestly.
yeah.
I find Jamie Lee Curtis more attractive in The Fog than I do in Halloween.
Yeah.
She's attractive in that. But like a road slut, like a truck stop whore.
Well, that's the stuff
Not
you
like
like.
not like a, you know, not like this, I don't know, whatever she's supposed to be or whatever. It just doesn't, I don't know. I can't hear there we go. Now I can hear myself. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about
See, I thought she was good looking in Trading Places because she was an actual.
Oh God,
she was an
she's
actual
hot in that.
whore.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking about Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just immediately when people say her name, I think of that. I didn't think
Yeah,
she was
that's
attractive in True Lies either. I thought she was very disgusting looking in that.
She was. I think it was to make Arnold look fuckable. I don't know. Nice pink corded phone. That's beautiful. But I was saying, in comparison, however you want to see them, which one do you think is more attractive? No matter how you have to look at what's her name, Jamie Lee Curtis.
And that's her sister.
Yeah.
Probably Jamie.
Yeah.
Her sister looks more like her mom.
Yeah.
Which now her mom was.
There
a
you
hottie.
go. There's some doctors.
Her mom was a hottie back in the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Electrocute those titties. Defibrillate. That's a cool image. It's not even sexual. It's just when you see titties defibrillating, just kind of jumble around. It's like, it's nature. It's like National Geographic shit right there. This is more like TLC channel, but with all the doctor stuff going on. It's true.
So I've got a friend of mine that's checking to find out right now, because he's there, what time they're opening that theater up. There's nowhere to park.
I'm sure there's
It's Last Jedi Part 2.
It's going to be worse than Last Jedi. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, because there's less showings of it, so... I don't know. He's already there.
Really?
Yep.
Cool. We got a man on the inside.
Yep. I mean, I don't want to get there too early, but at the same time, I don't want to be there where it's like...
We need to go after we're done with this.
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah, we need to just pack up and go.
Because, folks... I'm having him ask right now. It's fun this is on here. I'm having him ask.
If you guys are like us, which I'm sure a lot of you are listening, where you have to go see something opening night, not even Friday night, but Thursday, we go see stuff the day before the actual opening night.
Pre-screening.
Pre-screening. Which they do early showings of most movies. Yeah. We have done it a couple times where we're like, nah, we'll make it, it'll be fine, any previews. For these kinds of movies like Avengers and Star Wars, anything, definitely got to be there like a flight is leaving. You got to be there like an hour early so that you can get in. Because what movie did we try to go see and we couldn't get fucking seats?
Fucking Star Wars.
Was that Last Jedi?
That's what I'm saying. That was a nightmare.
We had to move our showings.
Well, the worst thing about...
Because we went in there and we could not find a seat.
Well, the worst thing about this, if we don't get there early enough, we won't get to sit together.
That's what I'm saying. We need to go ahead and go as soon as we're done. Because it's that late of a showing, we need to get in line and get ready. Because I'm not missing this. And I can't... This is the last showing we're going to. It's like... We're doing the 11:45, folks. So it's the very last one. So we can't move our time. We're just not going to go see it. We can't see it tonight if we don't get there early enough. So we're going to have to pull the superhero move and just head straight there and find our fucking boys and get our seats. So that's going to be the only way to do it. Even though usually they seat pretty early at those things too. Like if it's 11:45, sometimes under my impression it was like 30 minutes before they seat it. But I think Last Jedi when we went, they were seating people like an hour early, and that's what fucked us, was that they started seating way early. So it was a nightmare. We had nowhere to sit. There was people holding seats for like a fucking church group, so we had nowhere to sit. There was like 12 people in one group, which is outrageous. And so we had nowhere to sit. Try to get the ushers on there.
Apparently half of Best Buy's going, so that's kind of funny. I don't know.
So
we should have a giant row of people we're sitting with. They're all cool. It'll just be me and Taro and Gore Christ,
yeah,
and Cody, and everyone else he works with. But anyway, so which is fine. I don't care. It's nobody like Garrett and Jason and that stuff. It's not that. It's good stuff. At least I think so. I don't know some of those fucking people, but my security guard's going to be there. Jordan will be there. Shout out to Jordan. See you not there, bud. You big bastard. He is. He's my fucking security guard. Like, literally, he's that big where I'm going to be like, have you talked to Phantasm Security? Because he's like, yeah. He's cool. You'll like it, Jordan.
Yeah, definitely treat this shit like it's a flight leaving and get there early. Because if it's something like Marvel, anything, or Star Wars, whatever, just be there if you want to see it. Be there early enough. Because otherwise, you ain't getting shit. You're just going to have to sit... Because I refuse, as a moviegoer, to pay that much money and then sit in the very front where I can't see. I'm not doing that. It's either the back or the middle or nothing. And usually it's the back or nothing as early as we get there. So, I've seen one movie sitting in the very front. I'm never doing it again. Because there's no point. The screen's too big. I mean, you're looking at it from 5 feet away, a screen that fucking big, and, you break your neck for 2 hours. No point. So,
payback is a mother. That looks like a turd. Yeah, I hope there's not a lot of people there tonight. Hopefully we can just watch it and leave and,
Yeah, we'll get it done. You know how we roll.
Oh, that won't be that big a deal, but too much of a rant about that. But anyway, we have John from Incantation coming on here in about 10 minutes, something like that. I can't remember how much is left of this movie, but yeah.
It's a short movie, it seems like. It's been pretty raunchy so far.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not my favorite Soyvi movie.
No.
However you pronounce his name, sorry.
Right. So are you excited about going to Texas Frightmare still?
Was that? No.
Yeah. You excited about it?
I mean, it's going to be pretty epic,
I mean, there's a lot of cool guests there. Are you going to try to get some interviews and stuff, or?
As much as I would like to, it's always hard trying to conduct things in the middle of a convention. It's always so crazy. And as busy as I'm anticipating it, you know, the most you can really do at bigger conventions is to really just kind of network and, you know, get some emails, get some contact info, and try to set something up at a later time, you know. It seems to be the best way to do it anyway, because it's very rare you can get something done at a convention.
Oh, yeah.
Smaller conventions, sure. You get there before hours, but unless you do VIP stuff, you know, I don't think with press they let you in early to where you can go do stuff. They kind of treat you like just a weekender and not really give you the full reins to go where you need to get what you want. Not to mention a lot of the guests, you know, they arrive late because they're, you know, gotta go get breakfast, and, you know, they gotta get ready to knock out, you know, autograph after autograph, picture after picture, photo ops, Q&As. I mean, they definitely put the work in, as, you know, probably more than some of them do in film. I mean, to be at a convention, and, you know, it's a lot of work for just, you know, anybody, you know, with the likes of, you know, actors like Tobin Bell or Doug Bradley or Brad Dourif. You know, they're going to be busy all weekend, and of course Clive Barker, you know, that's going to be crazy. So,
I mean, you've got Fuck Off there too, one of your favorite people.
Steve Gash, yeah, and Tom Savini. So, you know, I'll just make.
I appreciate Tom telling me he'd do our podcast, and then just, you know, letting it go down the toilet like a piece of toilet paper.
It's all right. It happens.
It's okay.
Happens more than you all know, but that's why we're still here, because we
try. Yeah.
You know, you get a lot of no's, and then you get a couple of yeses in there, and that's
wonderful labels that blow me off too.
That's the guest like John that was very humble about coming on and had a great time with Dr. West here. And,
yes, he was very cool.
You know, you get people like that, and that's all we really ask for anyway. So if people don't want to do it, it's good that they don't. Cause
in a couple of weeks we have I don't know his name, I apologize. We have some of the folks, or a guy from MVD
collection
coming on, which is awesome, and we're excited to have them on. And I apologize, but we've not gotten on a first name basis, but we're excited to have you guys on in like 3 weeks, so it's gonna be cool. But yeah,
we got a lot of things coming. We got the Jessica Natasha Fangoria. That's going to be awesome.
It's exciting.
Who else we got?
We're doing that when you get back, I guess.
Yeah. And then we got fuck, I'm just brain farting here. This movie.
We've got some stuff, you know, that I can't really talk about on here yet till it's concrete. But
got Sherwood Weber of Skinless. That's going to be awesome.
That's right. I'll be doing that interview in a few weeks. It's pretty cool.
Huge fan of Skinless, so it's pretty awesome.
Now, is he on everything?
Yes.
Nice. It's awesome.
Not a founding member, but he's been on every record of theirs, yeah.
Nice.
And they've been around since, like, you know...
Sure.
I think they formed in 92. He joined in 94 on their first full length.
I'm excited to hear their new record. It looks really cool.
Yep, it's Savagery, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is.
Album art looks really cool. They put out a music video that's really raunchy, so that's really good. It's good to have some solid death metal still coming out. It's really nice. It's like, I think, you know, bands like Incantation and speaking of, you know, still just putting out raunch butt records and keeping it alive and staying true to the sound, and while also, you know, progressing and sounding even better than they did. So props to bands like Incantation for always flying that underground flag and not changing for anybody and acting commercial and, you know, still giving back to the fans. And
Profane Nexus is a great album too.
It is. It really is. One of the better death metal albums.
They returned home on that. We went back to Relapse, which is interesting, but
right.
Yep. It was one of the better records from last year, I think.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that, you know.
Yeah, I think it was It was
definitely my top 5.
It's pretty well received among the underground death metal community, and guys like us, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great. He's spectacular. You guys will get to hear that here momentarily, actually, because we're gonna hand you over to John and my interview, and check that out, and we'll have updates next time in the future from Corey as his adventure continues.
Right, and sweet. And we're going to go
Coriana
see
Jones
Avengers.
as he goes to Texas and fires Jerry Jones, and he takes over as the Cowboys' new owner.
As much as I would love to do that.
Yeah, he's a pud. It's the one reason I could never really truly like that team is he's such a dickhole.
Yeah. Oh.
But anyway, John McEntee, thank you for everything. Appreciate you, and sorry this took so long to get up. We had to get up and running in 2018. It takes a minute. Kind of like a band, I guess, but it's a little different. It's busy lives. And,
yeah, we both got our separate things going on. It takes a lot for Dr. West to get to Knoxville, so when we do stuff.
Sometimes we have to record on the phone, so it just depends. But either way, yeah. So, John, thank you. And the Sect, I guess we need to do the final thoughts.
So we'll queue up the final thoughts.
Not very good. Shouldn't have bought it.
I mean, it was cool seeing it. Like, now that I have seen
Pretty,
it.
It looks good. If you like the film, it's
I'm
great.
just glad you bought it and I didn't, and we got to watch it through you. That was very nice of you.
You're welcome.
It's very nice of you.
You're welcome. My $10 thanks you. My credit card thanks you.
Yeah, but, good movie for John. It is a good movie. It's just one we're huge Soviet fans, so comparing it to the rest of his filmography, like Cemetery Man and that one we watched, was it The Church? No, we didn't watch The Church.
Not yet.
It was what was the other one we watched? Stage Fright. Yeah, great movie. This one, if you put it into like a trilogy with those, this would be the weaker of the three, but I enjoyed it. There's a lot more giallo stuff going on in this film versus the other two. The other two are just kind of straight, just nastiness. But this one is a little dragging, but it's worth watching. I don't know about buying, but it's worth watching. Profane
if you
Nexus.
like the movie, you should.
Profane Nexus by Incantation is definitely worth buying, so you should pick that up. If you don't have it already, what are you doing? It's been out a year, so go pick it up on Relapse Records. We'll now leave you with John of Incantation, his interview with Dr. West here. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for all your support. Keep supporting Phantasm Podcast and support underground death metal. And stay fucking gory.
This is John McEntee from Incantation, and you're listening to Vincent West on the FANTASM Podcast.
For a long time, and it's an honor to have you on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you doing it.
Yeah, man, of course. All right, we'll get going here, and I'll introduce you, and we'll get everything rolling.
Okay, awesome.
This is Dr. Vincent West with the Phantasm Podcast, and my guest needs no introduction. Founder in the New York death metal scene, and just legend overall over the years, putting out amazing death metal and keeping us all on our toes for every release. And I'm joined today by John from Incantation. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good. It's an honor to have you on, and of course you got the latest album.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it's an honor. So we'll start out here for the listeners here. Let's talk about the history of Incantation, if you don't mind.
Okay. Well, I mean, history of Incantation goes back quite a long way. I mean, it started in, around July, August, probably the beginning of August, 89, I think.
Okay.
I played in another band called Revenant before I played in Incantation. We were kind of like a death thrash type band, like with an aggressive. I think it's kind of like an aggressive thrash band or something like that. And I kind of wanted to take it more in a more aggressive direction that they wanted to go with. And at that time, we were searching for drummers. The drummer left that band, Revenant. And while I was looking for drummers, I came across Paul Ledney, who I was advised about from my friend Ross Dolan from Immolation. Told me that, about Paul Ledney. So we got together and basically just kind of hit it off. But we kind of, after jamming on some of the Revenant songs together, that we really wanted to kind of do something different than what Revenant was doing. And, we decided instead of having him, be a prospect drummer for Revenant, we just started our own band. I would leave Revenant and start a band, and we called it Incantation. It was so basically kind of the birth of Incantation was from my other band. It just, it was kind of like I found, another person that kind of looked at things in a similar way as I did. So it was kind of, it kind of gave me that inspiration to move forward and stuff with Incant. And, from there, even though Paul Ledney and I lineup only lasted about 6 months or whatever before he decided he wanted to do more of a black metal band, which ended up being Profanatica, that kind of still gave me the inspiration to move forward kind of with my own vision with the band. And, pretty much, it's just really fortunate because we ended up finding a really good lineup, after 2 years, with the kind of the Golgotha lineup, really great members, just really great, it was great to jam with people that were, looking at things the same way I was, musically and lyrically, and we just were fortunate enough to be able to, come up with some really great music. And, our first album when it came out, we had no idea how it was going to do, because it was something that I think was distinctively us as a band and wasn't quite like the other death metal releases out there. So we really didn't know what to expect, but we were just kind of stubborn, kids just saying, fuck it, we want to do it our way, and everybody could fuck off. And, things worked out really well. And, there just, unfortunately that lineup didn't last so long. I think my explanation for why it didn't last is because I don't think we really ever expected the band to take off the way it did. And it's like, when things did as well as it did, it was weird, but it kind of broke us apart instead of pulling us together. Maybe it was just all of us being young and stuff, which was, kind of a bummer. I think when you're young, you don't know how to deal with things quite as diplomatically as you do when you're older and stuff. But, and from that point on, we've just been really fortunate. I mean, kind of after the, Golgotha lineup and stuff, the next really big step to the band was when, I met up with Kyle in Cleveland, and we just hit it off really well. And, the band really was able to move forward, because Kyle and I both had a similar vision, and we also got along really well with friends, and we both kind of complement each other, position in the band and stuff like that. We both have our strong points, and, we were able to work well as a team, and then just, just kind of been fortunate because, we put out in the late 90s, we put out Diabolical Conquest, which was like, an album that sold probably just as well, if not better, than, our All Golgotha album. So it was really great.
Right.
That, we were able to continue doing quality music over the years, you know, like, I think early on, people weren't sure that, well, we did Always Go Gospel, and then we did, Mortal From Nazarene. At the time when we did Mortal From Nazarene, it didn't go over that well. People didn't really understand the album at all. So I think there was a segment of the population that kind of thought that Incantation was kind of like a one-trick pony with, Golgotha. And once we did Diabolical Conflict, it kind of showed that we still had, you know, a lot of ideas and stuff like that, and that we weren't just kind of one of the fly-by-night death metal bands of the early 90s. And, from that point on, I mean, it's just, over the years, you know, we've been lucky enough to gain new fans from all different eras of the band. I mean, it's such a phenomenal thing that people of all different ages, people, you know, from our age, obviously, my age, at least, to, you know, really obviously, you know, got into like the early albums and stuff like that. But then there's newer generations throughout our history that have different albums that they really think mean a lot to them. And as a songwriter, it's, you know, such a great feeling to be able to write music that means something to all different generations of death metal heads, with us being able to kind of, you know, speak towards them musically. You know, it's a great feeling to kind of do things the way you want to do it and still have people like it, you know, and not just like it for one era, but, you know, we've been around now a crazy amount of 30 years, and we have people, you know, for even over the last album, you know, had new fans getting into us, which is great. You know, it's just never ever in our wildest dreams would have thought that the band would have been still around 30 years from now. I mean, honestly, I thought maybe we had like a 5-year, you know, span or something like that. 30 years is just almost ridiculous, you know?
Right.
Especially for a death metal band. I never would have thought that. I thought that people would have been sick of the crazy stuff we do, you know?
I've been a fan since Onward came out, and
awesome.
The scene that you came out of in New York, like, now you have a relationship. There was Mortician as well, right? And you played live with Mortician, is that right?
Yeah, the Mortician connection was after Paul Edney left the band. I had to put another lineup together, and we didn't have a vocalist at the time, and it just happened to be at that same time Mortician lost her guitar player. So we basically said, okay, well, how about I play guitar in Mortician until you just find somebody else, and if you can help us out with vocals on Incantation on a demo and maybe do some live shows, we just find a vocalist. So
right.
It ended up, we just kind of helped each other out, and I playing with Mortician was a real blast, and it was actually a really good learning experience for me, because before I played in Incantation, like I said, I played in Revenant, and we were a lot more technical as a band, and it was nice to go to a band like Mortician where it was like a band that made a lot more with a lot less. Like, there wasn't a lot of notes involved in the songs, but they still had the different feelings throughout the songs and stuff like that. And I learned a lot about, sometimes being simple, is just as good as being technical. You don't always need to do a lot of notes to make something good. You can do something original and simple. So, I'm really fortunate that I was able to play with Mortician. It was a really short time. I only played with the band for about 6 to 8 months, but it was such a productive time in the band that, it almost seems longer, but when I look at it, it was really only a short period of time. But I mean, we did the Day of Death Fest, which kind of helped get Mortician time, because it brought us to a bigger audience. I was able to do the demo with Mortician, which, hit it off really well for them. And, played a whole bunch of live shows. A lot of the shows I played were Incantation Mortician shows, because it was just easier we were all there already, and we do a lot of shows together. And both bands didn't have enough of a repertoire of songs to play a nice long set. We'd be able to play 2 sets, and it probably was the same amount of time as, a regular headlining set or something.
Well, Will is one of those people. It's like having you on today. Anyone that knows me, having you on, and if I could ever have Will on, you guys are like bucket list death metal people for me. So it's it's really interesting hearing about the story with you guys. It's neat.
Oh, well, Mortician, is a great band. I've always been so happy for Mortician that they've done as well as they have in the band, because I think it just shows you that it's like, you could make your vision come true without having all the bells and whistles, It's like, when you listen to Mortician, it's just brutal as fuck, There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's good. It's like kind of no frills, no frills brutality, which I think is refreshing, So many bands, over-concentrate on, like I said, over-technicality on stuff, and sometimes just forgetting, like, the true barbarity of just, crushing it with, just a few heavy as fuck notes, Mortician is a great band. For me, my favorite Mortician release is Zombie Apocalypse. Every time I listen to that, it just sounds like a monster just crushing everything in its path. It's like one of the heaviest releases I think ever recorded in history. It just, to me, it's so fucking heavy. It's unbelievable. It's definitely inspiring to hear that, because it just makes you want to just play heavier after listening to it. It's just it's such a high level of brutality. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's still distinguishable, which is great too.
Hacked Up for Barbecue for me is just fucking fantastic.
Oh, but yeah, obviously that's a great release too, and so many classic songs are on there, for sure. I love that too. The only reason why I choose Zombie Apocalypse is just because, to me, that's just probably the heaviest recording in history. So, when I listen to it, it's such a monumental, release in heavy music for me. Hacked Up for Barbecue, all that stuff is just amazing stuff too. I love the old stuff I used to play with, like Drilling for Brains and Necropannibal. What's the other one? I can't think of it now. That was one we wrote when I was in the band, and actually such a fucking killer riff. It just stood out. Once you heard that, people just went fucking bananas. It's amazing.
Now, knowing those guys, was Roger more the horror guy, or was Will more the horror guy?
Oh, well, Will is definitely the horror guy. When I first would go over to Will's house and I'd try to learn Mortician songs, and we would work on some Incan stuff or whatnot, I'd go over to his place, and he had a huge collection of horror movies. And we're talking, we were like, probably 20 years old, 21 max, probably, and he had already a huge collection of horror movies and stuff. So Will definitely is the horror guy. Will is just a big collector of horror music, horror movies, death metal music, and like hardcore and punk music. He's just a collector of stuff of extreme, media and stuff like that. So I would say definitely Will is the brains behind the horror movie aspect of Mortician. And then once Roger came in the band, he was just the perfect person to play with Will, because he just really brought in an extra layer of brutality to what he was doing. Roger's, guitar work in Mortician is just second to none when it comes to heaviness, you know?
Oh, yeah,
and,
definitely.
And if anything, Roger's the Star Wars guy. I mean, he's out of his mind with Star Wars. I mean, I remember going to his house. He just had rooms and rooms full of Star Wars. I mean, non-stop Star Wars. The dude's out of his freaking mind. Star Wars. I mean, I like Star Wars too, but he's just like, it's like, you know, he enjoys Star Wars as much as a crack addicted or, you know, like crack, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now,
he totally rules it, you know? Well, Roger's a great guy, a great guitar player, and a great friend, too. Really nice guy.
do you still keep in touch with Will at all?
Yeah, we still talk. I mean, we don't talk a lot, like, you know, on the phone or anything, but we keep in touch a little bit by email, and mostly just when we see each other, you know, we talk and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, Will's always you know, been a great friend of mine, and just someone I've always really appreciated his help in the band, and the fact of letting me play with Mortician, I always thought was you know, something I always hold close to me, you know?
Definitely. Now that scene, you know, just you know, it's so amazing, you know, having you on today, because we've had the Suffocation guys, we've had Immolation on, and so having you on was, you know, huge. And then hopefully one day we'll find out. I don't know. I've tried reaching out to I don't really know how to get in touch with him, and so, but yeah, maybe one day. But yeah. Oh, go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I know Will's like on Facebook and stuff, so you could reach out to him that way. I don't know how active he is on there, but I know he has a Facebook account.
Not very active. I don't think he's been on there in like 2 years. I've tried.
Oh, it's possible. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Like I said, I mostly see him at shows and stuff like that. But I know they're starting to play out more Mortician again. So, you know, I'm sure I'll see him around, and I'll put in a good word for you.
I appreciate that, John. That's awesome.
Well, next time I see you.
Yeah, man. Okay, so Profane Nexus, one of my favorite albums from last year. So many death metal releases. One of the top tier releases last year, and
thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, of course. And what I'd like to do now with you, if it's cool, go track by track with you and have you tell the listeners here about some of the songs here.
Okay, I mean, I could do it more musically, because the lyrics are actually quite complex, and that's like a Chuck Sherwood thing to explain. And
okay.
You could probably have a whole podcast on him on his own explaining the stories, because he's out of his freaking mind.
Okay.
But,
well, maybe we'll have Chuck on to do that. But yeah, if you don't mind doing the music for each one, I'd love to get you to do that if that's cool.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. So we'll start with Muse.
Okay. Well, that one was that one actually was like a really I guess I would consider a really old song. It was a song that we've had lying around in the Incantation camp since about 2011 or something. And the riffs, like, we had the basic riffs, and we always take it out to try to work on, because we were going to use it for Vanquish and Vengeance, then we were going to use it for, you know, Dirge of Elysium, but it's like the song just never made the cut. Like, it never worked out the proper way. I mean, we've rewritten it and restructured the same riffs, and we knew we liked the general gist of it. It's just that the pieces never fell together, you know. And that it was just one day at practice, I just got inspired, and, you know, we added kind of like, there's two different things. Is we just added, like, we changed the way we played, like, the first main riff in the song, and then we also added, like, the doomy part at the end, and we were just able to turn it into, you know, a really great landscape of a song, where it just kind of starts off, you know, really kind of aggressive and brutal, and then kind of goes into a kind of a more twisted, you know, doomier-ish type, you know, passageway kind of towards the end, which is something that we, you know, really like doing with our songs. We like to have them kind of go somewhere, you know, and a lot, you know, I think that song ended up really having a 90s more traditional incantation vibe to it once all the pieces kind of went together. It's one of those things where you just can't, like, force a song to be right. It's better just to hold on to the song for a while and just wait for all the pieces to fall together. I really like the song a lot. I think in my opinion, it became one of my highlights of the album. But it was just, you know, it was weird because it came from a song that was just kind of like, you know, the lemon of the pack for a while. You know, just we couldn't get it to work. But you know, one day you just get that spark, and it's like, it all makes sense now. You know,
it's a great track.
Yeah, and I think it's a good intro track because it kind of gives you everything, a little taste of everything what Incantation is, kind of in a nutshell, which I think is a good way to start the album and stuff. So
definitely. And then track 2, Rites of the Locust.
Okay, yeah, Rites of the Locust was that was basically a song that Chuck came up with, kind of the basic riff ideas for that song, and it just kind of it was kind of like, I would say it was mostly a Chuck song with a little bit of my input in there, but it was like Chuck came up with most of the riffs, and it was just like, you know, basically, you know, my contribution to it was more almost like structure and trying to make the structure kind of pop and mean something or whatever. And then, like, Sonny came up with the idea of really taking, like, the first riff and really, like, getting the picking really fast for that part and make it, like, more intense than it originally was. Like, maybe the earlier version of that picking was a lot more strumming, almost more like an old Unholy Massacre kind of vibe.
Right.
And with with Sonny, he put in the idea of adding the picking more brutal, and I thought it just really helped the song kind of stand on its own as a you know, good, brutal, original sounding song. You know, and the thing I like about the song is that it doesn't sound, it sounds like an Incantation song, but it doesn't sound like any, you know, it doesn't sound like another Incantation song at all. It kind of has its own identity to it, which I think is, for me, means a lot, because after all these years of writing songs, you know, I like to still have stuff that, you know, it sounds like Incantation, but doesn't sound like just rehashed old stuff, which I thought that was a good example of, you know, writing new songs, but still keeping the traditional vibe there, you know?
Definitely. It's a killer track. And then track 3, I'm going to do my best to pronounce, Visceral Hexahedron. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Visceral Hexahedron, yeah. That one, let me think. Fuck. Offhand, I gotta think of what the freaking song is now. I haven't played that one for a while.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just some off the top of my head. That one is fuck. God damn it! Wow, it would help if I remember the damn song from the end.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck. If I could just hear it for a second, no, because fuck. What do you think? That was...
I can read you some lyrics if you like.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That might help.
I reside within, under fathomless silence, event horizon of gathered darkness. Their daggers slice through thought, subconscious, this chamber. I'm confined, cerebral, secretion cloaked interior, where life is inferior.
Yeah, feel like a dope. I can't think of the fucking song. It just can't. I'm having a mental breakdown at the moment. Hold on a second. Just give me one quick moment, okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, John. No, you're good.
Let me see here. I guess I'm going to listen to it now. I'm not at home. I can't just check.
Yeah, whatever you need to do, man. You're good. I didn't mean to stump you.
No, it shouldn't have, really, but my brain has been, like, on other stuff.
Dude, you guys have so much stuff. I don't know how you... I mean, it would all run together to me after a while, to be honest with you.
Let me see here. Once I hear it for a second, I'm going to call what a dope.
No, it's all good, man.
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
Sweet. That's the power of the editing tool too, John. None of this ever happened.
That's a great song. I totally, yeah. You know what? It's kind of weird because I almost forgot about it. Because, like, after I do the album, I, like, never listen to it again unless I have to work on the songs for the set list.
Sure.
Because I don't get pleasure out of hearing my own music. And that's a killer song. You gotta play that one. Anyway, yeah, that one was, that one is really killer, just like, you know, more of like a good old sludgy kind of heavy doom one. It's one, if I remember correctly, I think most of that one I came up with myself as far as actual riff-wise. It was just, like, I had the ideas, which I thought were really cool for, like, the earlier, slower part where, you know, the guitars do, like, that kind of, those kind of push bends over the slow doomy part. I just thought it would be a really cool kind of added bonus. And, yeah, I like it because, to me, that's just really, like, highlights our, you know, barbarity in that song. I mean, it just has, like, to me, at least, it just has a feeling of just pissed off, agonizing, just heavy as fuck, you know, kind of vibe to it. And I really like the last verse in that song. It just ends in a really, I think it just ends with a really cool riff. And it's kind of one of those songs, just kind of like moves, you know, it does a little back and forth in the early middle part of it, but most of the song kind of moves ahead. And that song itself is kind of like I call it the Cliff Note version of the original version of the song, where we had the same song that was about a 10-minute song, and we decided for the album we were going to cut it down to, like, a reasonably length song so we could actually play it live sometime. And we have like a demo version of that song closer to, like I said, the 10-minute mark that we're probably going to re-record one day as, you know, maybe like an added bonus or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But we just didn't, the thing was, is we had a couple of songs that were kind of long, and we didn't want to do another long song because both on Vanquish and Vengeance and on Dirge of Elysium we had Dirge of Elysium has like a 16-minute song, and Vanquish and Vengeance had like 11-minute song. So I didn't want to do another album with another super long song on it just because I thought it was too predictable, I don't want to be like, okay, that's the long song for the album, because we don't write a song necessarily to be short or long for the most part. We just write the song until it's over with.
Sure.
But what was kind of cool with this song is we were able to shorten it down, and still make it work as a good song. But we thought it'd be kind of cool to still, keep the old demo track, the long version of it, just kind of for, die-hard Incantation fans would probably enjoy hearing the extended version of it. But for the album, the shorter version just seemed to be more appropriate for what we were trying to accomplish on this album. Because I think the album has a good amount of slow stuff, and I just thought that since it had already enough slow stuff, to have another 10-minute slow song might just not keep the flow of the album as well as we want it. Because an album is more, to me, it's more about the full flow of all the songs, the way they work together. And to do, sometimes it's better to organize the songs to fit the album properly than to just have individual good songs. I mean, say like early album, like Onward to Golgotha was just all the songs we had at the time when we put it on the album. But now it's like we have so many songs we could pick and choose to make sure the album flows properly. And, like to this album, we had a whole bunch of extra material we didn't use just because there was no need. It didn't fit on the album. It wasn't like the song was bad or anything. It was just, certain songs just didn't fit with the overall chemistry.
Sure.
So, but that one's a killer. Actually, I want to fit that one in the set list now that I, thought about it again. Not that I totally forgot about the song, but it just was, I hadn't listened to it for a little while because, like I said after we do the album, I don't listen to the song. I don't listen to the album after, like, kind of final mix because it's just kind of like, I don't know, I feel retarded and just uninterested in going home listening to my own music rather than somebody else.
Sure, that makes sense.
Because, if I listen to my own songs, it's kind of like there's no surprises. It's just like, whatever.
Right, exactly. All right, track 4.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was done.
Okay, track 4, The Horns of Gefren.
Yeah. The Horns of Gefren, that's, another really killer song. Let me just think, if I remember that one too. It's so retarded. I gotta listen to it for a second.
Yeah, go for it. No, we're good.
Oh, man. Yeah, this the Horns of Gefren song is I saw most of the music for that one was a Chuck song too that he wrote, which I really liked because the riffing style in that has a real almost like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like a circular motion where it's like, and I like that kind of vibe ever since I got into stuff like Necrovore and stuff back in the day. I like that vibe of the it's like almost like the riff, if I could explain it, is almost like a hive of bees or something. I attaching you. Where it's a vibe. Also got like early Nuclear Death had and stuff with their songs, where it was just like, gee, you know, it was like almost, I wouldn't even say muddy, but it has like a aura around it. Some of the riffs in that song, which I just thought, you know, was another really cool, cool riffing, and it's cool because this is kind of really, really shows off Chuck's input in the band. Because he's really, the really great thing about Chuck is an amazing bass player and a phenomenal songwriter, lyrically, but he also comes up with really cool riffs and really cool different ideas, and sometimes brings up like counter ideas to like what I'm writing or thinking of at the moment. So it's so great to have that kind of input to the album and the song, because if I wrote everything myself, things might end up being a little bit more one-dimensional. But the fact that everybody in the band contributes song-wise to it, we're able to get so many more vibes and feeling in that song. But that's a really killer song. I actually think that's another song on the album that probably sounds closer to our 90s material than say some of the newer stuff that we've done on the last couple albums. And for me, that's always great, because I always appreciate stuff sounding, having a old school sound, because an old school sound to me is just the normal school I grew up in,
Fucking A, yes, same here.
Yeah.
Track 5, Incorporeal Despair.
Okay. Yeah, that one was like, the whole concept with that one was kind of like fuck everybody kind of vibe to it.
Right.
It was just like, we really wanted something that was just simple, crushing, and like, say, atmospheric,
right,
and a lot of feeling without sounding wimpy or cheesy,
Sure.
Like, it was like kind of people kind of consider it kind of funeral doom type song or something, and I guess maybe it is, but I wanted this take, like, there's so much like doom and atmospheric music out now that to me is just really lame and really bubblegum.
Sure.
And I wanted to do something just more of a vibe where you just could listen to it and just soak up the feeling and the passion, with still keeping it very, very simple, barbaric, but also layered and almost intricate in a certain way. But so to me it was just like a really, really cool really cool song to try to write, because like, even when I brought it to practice, it's like basically the song is 2 or 3 notes, like main notes, and without like the proper layering, if I practice, it's just like my bandmates think I'm on crack or something, so I'm just saying, like, yeah, just hit this, just hit, go dong, and just let it sit out for a while, and go dong again, and it comes across as like, you have speak a mind, but then once, like, we recorded it, and then I was able to say, okay, now let's add the stuff to it and stuff, and then it all kind of fell together in its own way. It was really for me, it was a fun, creative thing to do, and I just think it's, for me, you should never have enough, like, just agonizing doom on an album and stuff like that. I mean, even though a lot of our albums are really fast, the doom part's always been really important, and I always look for new ways to incorporate doom into what we already do, because I don't always want it to be just the typical, this is the incantation sludgy doom part. I want it to be interesting for me, and I want it interesting to be for our supporters out there, because, some people might want us to just redo one of our old albums. But for me, it's, you know, it's about conquering new ground, but still the same feeling and the same tools we've used throughout the years. So I think that's a really good example of, you know, doing something totally different, but at the same time, you know, it still distinctively sounds like Incantation, and, you know, I just think it's a great, you know, a great different thing. I mean, if you hate doom stuff, you're going to hate that song. But if you're like me and, you know, you like really sludgy doom stuff, you know, you'll think it's, you know, probably a, you know, pretty good song, I guess. You know,
it's a great track. And have y'all been playing that live?
No, you know, we haven't played that one live yet. I didn't really. Yeah, we don't play it live yet. We've been doing a few Doom sets here and there for specialty shows. That would be an interesting one to try to incorporate in that. I wouldn't say opposed to it, but we just haven't taken on that task lately of just trying to add that one too. I think it would be, I don't know, I think that song might actually be harder to play live than what, you know, what people would expect. Because people think, like, playing the Doom stuff is easier because, you know, less notes, but to actually get that feeling properly is not as easy as you think. Because in a fast song, everything passes by so fast, but even if there's like something not 100% perfect or right, you can't notice it that much. But in a Doom song, you know, if you play it, it doesn't have the proper feeling, just the whole vibe is just totally fucked up. But yeah, I'm not opposed to playing it live, and it would be kind of fun, I think, to play it live. As a matter of fact, you know,
yeah, it's
it would definitely kick people's asses. You know, it would bring the set to a agonizing halt for a little bit, which would be fun.
Well, it's a great track. And then the next one, I'm going to try to pronounce this best I can. Track 6, Zype Totek.
Yeah, it's Zepek Totek.
Okay, Zepek Totek. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really strange because I don't know how the hell that song came to be Zepek Totek. Because when we were recording it, the song was called Night Drinker, which is, it's funny because the name Night Drinker just sounds like somebody at night likes to drink, but actually it's actually a little more complex than that. But then what happened, for some reason, when it came to like the final version on the album, I looked at the title and it said Zepek Totek, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess we changed it. So, but anyway, that's a song that was like, if I remember correctly, it was one that Kyle just came up with for the most part, riff-wise. We added stuff to it, but Kyle kind of just like was like driving and turned on his phone and started like humming these riffs in this phone and sent me like these recordings of these, you know, him going, you know, right. And you know, all I did was transcribe his humming to riffs, and you know, the song was pretty much like, you know, since he wrote the song on drums, all I had to do was play the guitar parts that he hummed to me, and the song was like done in like, you know, half an hour or something like that. And then just the middle part with like the chords over, like that goes the part where it goes and has like a ding,
yeah,
where like over it. That part was like, I was thinking of something, and then Sonny came up with the chords over it because I needed something there, and he came up with the chords over it, and it just brought out like a whole other dimension for that. So it, you know, that was another song that like Kyle came up with like the fundamentals of it, and then between everybody else tossing in their 2 cents, made it from like a pretty simple concept song to a song that really, you know, really just kicks ass and just has a really good vibe, and you know, it has a lot of aggressive solo playing over it, which you really wanted. We wanted just to be kind of like one of those kick you in the ass kind of songs, just straight out, kind of a quick punch in the head, and then it's out of there, and I think we accomplished that. That's a really one of my favorite songs. I just love a quick rager, like that.
Oh, it's great. It's a sick song. And then track 7, again, I'm gonna, if I mess this up, I apologize. Louis Sepulchre?
Yeah, Loose Sepulchre.
Loose Sepulchre, sorry.
Yeah, no, trust me. If Chuck didn't tell me how to pronounce it, I wouldn't know either. Yeah, that was a song. That was another song that we actually had. It was kind of, actually was a Dirge of Elysium song that never quite 100% finished, and we decided to just put it aside for a little bit, and we started working on it again once the Songs for This Sound came out, and it changed substantially. It was like one of those songs before where the riffs were, the basic idea was there for probably about 4 years, but it was just one day at practice, the inspiration just hit me, and I was just like a mad scientist. I was just telling God, I got this idea, let's do this, switch this around or whatever really quickly, and just the song just kind of really fell together really good, and ended up being kind of what I wanted. The one thing was I wanted it to be another like heavy song on like secondary guitar solo parts and stuff like that. I wanted like the aggression of the soloing, and then I wanted like the kind of the powering through of some of the mid-tempo parts. So it has like the part that goes so it kind of like has like that really punch in your face, and then kind of like a cool driving part after it. And I thought it was really cool to have the soloing on like the punchier part to even give it like a little more kind of aggressive chaos to the whole thing. And I really think, as far as like catchy songs on an album, that's definitely one of the ones that like stands out as far as like when people hear it, they can really grasp it really easy and stuff, which is kind of cool dynamic to have when you're writing an album. At least for me, I want to have the songs that kind of like different songs. I want them to be different. I want them to express different vibes and stuff like that. And I think that one's a good song. It just kind of gets that good mid-tempo death metal vibe. You have something, say similar to, I don't know, if I think of an older song, like maybe Profanation, or with Iconoclasm of Catholicism, or something like a song like Blasphemy or something like that. Just I wanted that really driving vibe throughout the song, and it really came out good. And we played that one a lot live in the set. It just goes over really good. It's like one of those. This is a really good headbanger of a song,
It's great. Yeah, it's a great track. And then track 8, Stormgate Convulsions from the Thunderous Shores of Infernal Realms Beyond the Grace of God.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one was basically. I haven't done a intro type song for quite some time. I think the last album that had an intro type song was the Blasphemy album. So I really wanted to do something that was an intro, but I wanted to give it like a kind of a horror movie vibe to it or something like that.
Right.
And I think I accomplished that. It's probably the most controversial song on the album, because a lot of people are just like, why even have that on there, because it's more of an intro than it is a song. But for us, it fits in with the the whole landscape of the album. Because like I said, we look at it as a full album. We're not looking at it just as individual songs. These days, a lot of people listen to our songs individually, like on YouTube, or listen to them,
Sure.
they'll download maybe just a few songs that they prefer of the album. But as a band, we're looking at it as a full picture, and for us, that was just, it's something we thought fit in good with the vibe of the album. Because, I look at it like you sit there and listen to side one and side two, because back in the day when I listened to records, I would sit there and my focus would be on the record. It wasn't like background music for me doing other things. Like I would sit there, look at the cover, listen to it, pay attention to it, and that was what I was doing, And now a lot of people don't sit there and listen to a whole record, and have the record as the event, It's usually background music for people these days a lot. So I think people that don't listen to it in the way that, we do, I did, at least back in, my younger days especially, and I still do now, but especially back in the younger days, I've listened to every aspect of an album and focused in on it. Some people, just hear it, when they just hear it like off the bat, they don't have any clue what the hell planet we're on with the song. But if you listen to it in the context of the album, I think it makes a lot of sense. And, I was happy to do an intro type thing again, because it's just been, years since we did anything like that. It was kind of funny. That brings up a story where on the Forsaken Morning of Angelic Angus, we did like that outro song on there. And I remember after we did it that it was a time when like noise bands were popular, like Merzbow and Naminex and these weird other bands that just were like making albums with just weird noises on it.
Yeah.
And I remember Bill from Relapse Records told me like he thought that outro that I did was like, he's like, this thing's like a masterpiece, You can do a full album of like music like that, And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, it's an outro. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you like it, but it's like, I'm not going to do a full album of intro and outros, I mean, maybe there was a market for it, and I just didn't see it. But for me, I thought it was really odd to get that much credit from a record company from our outro, for me, yeah, I mean, I put a lot of work into it, but it's not like, I'd rather get credit for my actual songs than just noise and stuff like that,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that was kind of funny. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, I think it's a cool intro to the altar of the Omen of Onyx. I thought it worked out good.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then, of course, the next track is Messiah Nostrum.
Oh, I'm sorry, Messiah Nostrum. That's stage one. It goes into. I apologize.
No,
I did the wrong song. But anyway, yeah, Messiah is a killer. It was the song that, like, one of the songs that Relapse really liked a lot off the album. They wanted us to do the video for. I think that one was that the regular video of 360. I can't remember, but they wanted us to do it as one of my kind of singles for the album and stuff like that. And I thought it was really good. I like the fact that one kind of starts and ends really heavy and just was kind of like a kind of a more of a rager in between. I know that song was a song that I had a majority of the riffs for originally, but then Sonny added in a couple riffs, and it just was one of those songs where my original version just needed like an extra pizzazz to it, and once Sonny added his riffs to the song, it just really made the song into a really killer track and stuff. And that's another one we've been playing out live a lot, and it always gets a really good response. I mean, people really like the heavy intro going into the raging part, and then ending kind of with that. I would almost say the ending part is almost like an old Mortician vibe type, kind of vibe, into there, which is always fun to add that old Mortician influence to our songs,
It's a great track, man. That's the first track I heard off the album before I bought it, and I really like it.
That was the one. I think the first one they released. That might have been the was it the 360? I can't remember. I can't remember the order they released it in, but yeah, that was the first one, and that really hit off really well, you know?
Yeah, it's great. And then track 10, Omens to the Altar of Onyx.
Yeah, that one was a song, too, where I was trying to do, another kind of slower, doom-oriented song in a little bit of a different style than what, I've done in the past. I really wanted that, I wanted it, like, heavy as fuck, but I wanted it to kind of move on, almost like a, like heavy machinery or something like that. It was like some kind of, it was heavy, but it was kind of like, it was still moving. It wasn't like heavy as much in a sluggish way until the middle. It's heavy, but it's like moving forward kind of thing, you know? So I really think we accomplished that. And it's definitely a really catchy song, and I like it because it's another song that really doesn't sound like anything we've really done in the past, but it still totally sounds like Incantation. And, for me, I really enjoyed the intro part of the song with the harmonies that Sonny put on the beginning of that.
Uh-huh.
And then I also like the middle part a lot, where it kind of just has really simple riffs, and then there's like kind of a little down, down, down kind of thing in the riff. I just think it really accents the heaviness of that part really good. I don't know, to me it was a really, it's a really fun song to play live. It's just a really, a song, that was like one song I was really kind of stubborn at that I wanted on the album, because I just thought it was a good song and a different kind of song to throw on the album instead of, I just felt like it needed to be in the mix, you know?
Definitely. It's a great way to start closing the album out, too. And then, of course, the final track, track 11, Ancients Arise.
Oh, yeah. That's another one that I really like a lot. We played that one live in our June set at Phoenix Extreme Fest, and it was so much fun, because it's another one that just chugs away. To me, it almost reminds me of like an old, slower Sodom type song or something like that, where it just has the it has a good, just a pounding vibe through it, you know, but it's still kind of like, it's like pounding and chunky and basic, but then it has its like moments of, like, I wouldn't say complexity, but just like the way the song ends and stuff like that. It's like it goes from like a really, I don't know, I almost consider it like a really morbid intro of like goats, or like goats blowing horns or something like that,
right,
going into like more of an attack mode in the middle of it. And the song is, just has like an attack mode and then it like gets to a crescendo of just even more like punishment, and then it kind of ends with something almost more like twisted, which I would consider more almost like a celebration of, like some kind of damnation or something like that. Just like, to me, it just really, it's almost like a short story in a song, where it has just a lot of different, feelings throughout the song, but it's also, just the overall vibe is just like agonizing doom, like you're just totally fucked kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a hell of a way to end the album too. It's absolutely fantastic.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and thank you for going through all the tracks with me. The artwork is some of the best you guys have ever done. I absolutely love this artwork. I'm looking at it right now. I absolutely love the artwork for Profane Nexus.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Eleanor, I always pronounce his name wrong, but it's not Eleanor. Cantor, I know his last name. I always forget how to pronounce his first name. But he did an amazing job on the artwork. I mean, he worked really closely with Chuck to, match it in with the lyrics. And what was really great about working with Cantor was that he ended up being open to all our ideas. Like, he really worked hard on trying to make us happy with the artwork. He wasn't like, okay, here it is, done, and take it. He was willing to do everything he could to try to make sure that, it came out the way we wanted. And it was really good because, we were able to get all the album influences in the artwork that we wanted, but Kyle and I also wanted to make sure that it was like, because some of the stuff, the ideas were just too fucking crazy that it didn't make any sense whatsoever, so he was really cool at trying to tame some of the stuff down after kind of went overboard a little bit with it, which is good that he did that, but we want to have it represent the concept of the album, but at the same time wanted to make sure that it was, you look at it and be like, fuck, that's a fucking piece of artwork, it looks fucking badass. It's not just it's one of the things that, most of our album covers, we really want our artwork to be a piece of art that you can look at and appreciate for the art aspect of it, as well as, the twistedness of what, an Incantation album cover should be. And that's definitely a great example of, concept, keeping with, the abstractness that we like to it. Because we really feel that the more the abstract the art is, the more it works with us, because we're kind of an abstract kind of band. Even though we're a death metal band, we play pretty traditional death metal if you come to the basics of it. We're still very abstract. It's still very, complex in the way that we do things in the band. So that kind of abstract vibe just works out great. And we're totally pleased with it. We're definitely going to work with him on the next album artwork. He's been doing an amazing job, especially for the last 2 albums. He's just done a great job. Great guy. Nice guy, great guy to work with.
What I love about it so much, for me, of all the releases last year, it was the best artwork. It's just a fantastic album. The Dan Swano production and you guys bringing everything, firing on all cylinders on the songs. But that artwork is just, it's beautiful. I love looking at it. I've got the CD here with me now. I love looking at it when I'm listening to it. It's really cool.
Well, that's part of the way that we look at it. Is we want it to be something that, represents the album, and we also want it to look like us. We don't just want, the generic death metal artwork. We never really wanted that on any of our album covers. We never wanted the generic death. We always wanted to be distinguishable to our style. We never looked at ourselves, even though we're traditional death metal and we're proud to be death metal, we always felt that we do things our way, we're ourselves, and the album cover artwork, was always something important to us, where, we wanted the album artwork to represent the sickness that was on the album. All people look at it and be like, that's some fucked up art, and
right,
the music is, that's more fucked up,
Oh, it's fantastic. It's such a great release.
Yeah, I see. It's kind of a bummer because I see there's a lot of really great albums, but a lot of times the artwork is just like cheese on a bun. I think there's just not enough time and effort put into it to really make the album cover great. Because I like it too. I want to see an album cover, and I just want to be like, fuck, that's fucking metal as fuck,
Yeah, exactly. Same here. And, of course, you guys are going to be out doing some headline shows. You're going to be out with Exhumed, and you're also going to be out with Mayhem, right?
Yeah, we just actually finished the dates with Exhumed just about a week ago.
Okay.
And that was a total blast. We did Exhumed and Phobia we played with, which was a total blast. It was a great, diverse lineup because, Phobia is more, old school grindcore. Exhumed's, more kind of gore, grind, thrash. I don't know what they are. They're like kind of a smorgasbord, I guess, of everything. And then us, so really made for some killer shows, and just like a lot of people came out from all different kind of styles of extreme music. And for me, it makes it really good to have, you know, 3 really good bands on the bill, and, you know, different styles of, you know, death metal or extreme music and stuff like that. Because I kind of sometimes shy away from bands that sound, you know, too similar on the bill, just because for me it's just uninteresting. I'd rather have, you know, diverse lineup, not totally crazy, but just bands that are distinguishably different, you know?
Yeah, sure, exactly. Good variety.
Yeah, but yeah, we have some headlining shows we're doing. You know, we're doing that pre-fest for the Beer and Metal Fest, and we're doing a bunch of headlining shows kind of on the East Coast and down towards Florida and stuff. Then we have we're doing some dates with Mayhem. I think we're doing 3 shows, including the Beer and Metal Fest in Philadelphia. So, you know, we're definitely keeping busy with that. We also have the Las Vegas Death Fest that we're doing in May.
Excellent.
They don't have the dates yet, but I know we're doing also about 5 shows in Italy coming up in May.
Oh, wow.
And then we're doing Maryland Death Fest at the end of May. And then we still have a whole bunch of other things coming up throughout the year. Just nothing's confirmed 100% yet. But it's good for next year or so. It's going to be really busy. And then on almost all our off time, we're trying to finish up the recording of the next album, because we have all the songs written for the next album. We're just kind of trying to pick out which ones and do like some finishing touches on vocal patterns and stuff. And we want to try to we're going to start recording that probably next month in April. Start recording the drum tracks for some of the songs for the next album, because we're just you know, really looking forward to getting some more new music out. You know, we've just been so inspired lately. We just want to just you know, keep releasing stuff while we have the inspiration. You know, I mean,
oh, that's amazing.
We have 4 songwriters in the band now. Everyone writes music, so it's like an album of 10 songs. That takes like, you know, no time at all. With everyone contributing 2 songs, the album's almost done, you know? So,
sure, yeah.
So, yeah, we're definitely, you know, looking forward to releasing more, and just once the touring cycle's done for this album, be able to have another album ready for whenever Relapse wants to release it, you know?
It's very exciting. I know we'll be looking forward to that. John, one of the things we do on the podcast is we're big horror fans. Are you a horror fan at all?
Yeah, I like horror. I'm not as insane as Will. I'm definitely not as insane as Will Raumer, but even Kyle and Chuck are more like total horror freaks. I like horror movies, but I'm not a total insane loony like those guys are, you know. But I'm down. What's the deal?
So, what was the first horror movie that you saw that you loved?
The first one that I saw that I loved.
Yeah, that you were just like, this is awesome.
It's hard to say. I mean, I used to, I grew up as a kid in the 70s, and I used to watch, like, I can't remember what it's called, like the something creeper show where it used to have the hand that came out of the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't think of, I was like, feature creep, I can't remember, it's too long ago. But I used to like watch that as a kid, you know, and it used to have like, you know, kind of like the really old horror movies, you know, like the Creature from the Black Lagoon and stuff like that as a kid, you know, and those kind of things I watch. But like probably the time when I really kind of got into like horror movies was like in the early 80s. I started watching more. I started renting them from a local video store. And I would say probably, it's hard to say because there's a lot of great horror movies that I liked from that era, but probably first one that like really hit me, like I have to say it was probably the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Such a great movie.
When I seen the first time when the girl goes in the house and call it Leatherface just comes out from the back room and slams her on the head with the hammer.
Yeah.
And she's convulsing on the ground. And he pulls her back and he closes the door. I mean, as a young kid, that was fucking disturbing as fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Just the whole movie in general with, like, you know, what was it? The grandpa trying to hit her over the head with the hammer and they're holding it in the hand and they're all freaking out. And, you know, just how warped that was just, you know, that was just, I mean, you know, as a teenager, young teenager, you're just like, holy fuck, you know? And I was young enough when I watched it that I didn't know if that was real or not real, you know, like, because they told you it was a true story. And you know it's not real, but part of you inside of you is like, man, that could be real, you know? Like, not really happening, but it could have really happened, you know? So that was definitely one that did it. But the other one that probably, I mean, there's probably 4 that really, well, that one is probably the first one, but then, like, the first Exorcist movie really hit me too. I mean, yeah, that was just amazing. And like first couple Allman movies were just so phenomenal too. Those, and then like the first Evil Dead, those all just like really hit me. I mean, I watched other things like, you know, Friday the 13th and stuff, and those were all good, and I liked them, but just something about, you know, the Omens, because those were like, you know, satanic type horror movies, and like, you know, and Exorcist, and it was just something about that satanic edge to it, you know, really, to me, made it more almost, I don't know if it was realistic, but just add an extra layer of fucked upness to it, you know?
Completely.
I mean, you know, with the girl hanging herself outside of the house in the Omen, you know, in front of the party.
It's great.
You know, that stuff, you know, and that's just disturbing, you know? But yeah, if I had to pick one, it'd be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because I know when I've seen that, I mean, just seeing that freak hitchhiking and cutting himself in the car and then marking the car with the blood, and it was just it's just like, what the fuck is going on here, you know, especially as a kid. But you know, it attracts you in, like you're interested, you know, like this is like really disturbing, but you want to watch it anyway, you know.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it, you know, it kind of like, you know, it's just a great you know, great vibe, and it you know, totally fit in with the kind of music I was into and stuff like that, you know. So I just love that horror, you know. Like I said, for me, if it's blasphemous and horror, it gives me an added bonus, you know, because I've always been attracted to you know, dark, blasphemous kind of you know, horror movies that are done well, you know, not anything cheesy, you know.
Sure, yeah, definitely, and those are all great movies. I was going to tell you the stairs in The Exorcist are actually, they've made it actually like a public thing, like they can't tear them down.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
The stairs that Karras goes down. Yeah, if you guys are ever in that area, I've never done it myself, but apparently they've made, you can go stand on their stairs. There's like a plaque, and the stairs are still there. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, that is. I mean, I know it was a huge movie when it came out, but it was just, you know, it was a huge movie that deserved to be a huge movie because it was just done so well, and you know, it took like, you know, horror movies to again just another level, you know, like it was evil and it was blasphemous, but it was like really well done. And it's not just like the crazy scenes in the movie that made it good. It was just the overall vibe of it, the way, like the lighting of the movie, just everything about the movie just gave texture and aura. And that's the same thing with like all those older movies from the 70s and the 80s that really impacted me. Like now horror movies are so CGI'd, and sometimes it takes away from that, you know, grainy film that vibe where it just feels like, you know, you feel like they do sometimes more with the feeling of the movie or the music in the movie in those older movies, where it wasn't just the gore aspect of it, or just, you know, it was like the sounds would shock you, or the way things would move in the darkness, or the way the shadows were. All that stuff was really, really, you know, really worked well in those early movies. And I think sometimes people forget that doing movies. It's almost like playing death metal and playing it with the early way, with the vibe, and then there's new bands come out that just worry about beats per minute and being tight, and they forget about the overall flavor that was mixed in with it, you know?
I completely agree with you.
It happens with a lot of horror movies. I mean, there's still good new horror movies out, but there's just a lot of them, they're good for a different reason, you know?
Well, they're missing, like what you said, they're missing the dread aspect of it. The vibe isn't there. I totally agree with you. I'm 100% on, I couldn't have said it better myself. You're exactly right.
Yeah. So, definitely, I'm a fan of, you know, like I said, that older era. Yeah, it's so great.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. Well,
but if you get a chance to talk to Chuck or Kyle, definitely talk to them about horror stuff, because they'll talk your freaking ear off about it. Because those guys, they're just out of their freaking mind. I mean, Chuck's watched almost every horror movie he could possibly get his hands on. I mean, he watches like usually 3 horror movies every day. He's out of his freaking mind.
It sounds like me.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'd love to have those guys on sometime. That'd be great. Do a recap with you. Have all you guys come on. But
okay, this is John from Incantation. You're listening to the FANTASM Podcast.
Oh, that's awesome, John. It's been an absolute honor having you on here, and you guys are going to be on the road, and everybody can look for you out there. Profane Nexus is available now from Relapse Records, and dude, it has been an absolute honor having you on today.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having us. And I just want to thank you, and also thank all the true death metal heads out there for the years of support. And we're going to keep doing this until we have nothing else to say to our music. Luckily, we have a lot to say, so we'll be around for a while.
Awesome. John, thank you so much, man. You take care of yourself. I'll be in touch.
Okay, you take care, too. I'll see you.
Thanks, brother.